man. We got a really, really, really super big show tonight. Coach Cole done it again. He done brought y'all another HBCU legend, SWAC Hall of Famer. Somebody who I found out was raised in the SWAC. But there's a special little twist to this story, and I'll let our special guest get into it, man. What up, everybody? This is your boy Rocky, and you're welcome to another edition of the HBCU Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Rocky Miller, along with my co-host, the Bishop, the Rattler, the FAMU alumnus who has won 2 consecutive games in this season.
Listen, now we got the game of the year, baby. We got the game of the year. All we had to do is get on the winning streak.
They go from wanting to fire their coach, running him out of town. They almost carried him off on their shoulders last week. None other than my friend, my guy, Mr. Bishop Steven Campbell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here tonight, boy.
Let me give you some applause, man. The way those Rattlers been playing, man, they deserve a little applause, man. Hey. You had a rough stretch there for a while, Campbell. You had a rough stretch, but you've recovered, and I'd like to congratulate the Rattlers on 2 consecutive victories. So 2
consecutive, no matter what the record is or who we play, doesn't matter. A win is a win.
You're only good as your last game.
That's it, man. That's it. So,
and we had a really interesting weekend in the SWAC, and I can't wait to get in and start discussing this weekend with you guys. Coach Cole is on the way. He had a previous engagement, and he's not late. He just delayed. He's going to be here. So all you guys, I know you guys come here for Coach Cole, and me and Steven Campbell is going to try to hold it down for you until Coach Cole gets here. But the guy we got as a guest is a big deal. A big deal. Before we get into that, I wanna acknowledge something that's also a big deal. This is something that I hadn't seen, I think, since Prime left the conference, right? What I'm about to see. Probably since Prime left the conference. I could be wrong, but y'all let me know. Here it goes.
Completion percentage, 304 pass yards, 5 passing touchdowns as they beat Alabama A&M. I'm going Haynes King, Georgia Tech quarterback.
Hey, that's awesome, Mr. Campbell, to have a player that's been on our show that we have all championed as one of the best players in the SWAC to be acknowledged on the nationally televised ESPN college football show. And they had the Alabama State helmet up there with getting Andrew Body a helmet sticker. What do you think about that, Mr. Campbell, as a HBCU historian?
Man, listen, all we want is recognition. And this is what I'm so proud about Andrew. And we're going to have my guy getting ready to come on, keeping that legacy alive. And just to let people know, that means they're watching. And all I ask is just to watch. See what we got going on. So, I'm so proud. He represents the university. He represents his fraternity. He represents all of us. And, man, hey, man, and bottom line, you only get a helmet stick if you balling out. You know what I'm saying? If you ball, you get the call, as Brian would say. So the boy was balling, man. The boy was balling. The boy was shimmying. They had 70,000 folks in there, man. Listen, looking at him. And, Sam Shea, hey, man, listen, he had his welcome to the SWAC moment. Welcome to the SWAC. And Rob was going to let him know that. They boys, but I got to welcome you to the SWAC. This is how we got to do it. So, man, so very, very proud of Andrew, man. And, and this is what, hey, man, just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Just keep getting more of them because that's what you want. And like I said, we'll talk about it, man. We don't know what the future holds, but I live in the moment right now. So you still got a lot to play for. They got a big game. down there in Texas, back down the way he's home at. And man, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
All right, man. As you alluded to it, our guest, much like Darnell Kennedy and also Andrew Body, he's part of this legacy of having dynamic, explosive quarterbacks at Alabama State. With no further ado, I'll step aside and let you give our next guest his proper introduction.
Listen, man, you all know I'm from a great city called Jackson, Mississippi. And one thing about Jackson, what we always say, we produce nothing but superstars. But not only do we produce superstars, the class of 88 that y'all know I'm proudly repping all over the city of Jackson, went all over the nation. My homeboy, SWAC Hall of Famer, all-time great Alabama State, Lanier High School stand-up 833, Ricky Jones.
No doubt. Guys, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, Mr. Jones? Hey, I want to thank you first off for agreeing to be on our show. You're one of the guys, I must admit, Mr. Jones, I just come into the SWAC 5 years ago, following the SWAC,
Right.
covering the SWAC. And you, along with Darnell Kennedy, along with Robert Kent, of course, Doug Williams, Steve McNair, you're mentioned among the great quarterbacks, Shaq Harris, among the great quarterbacks that have played in the SWAC. And so, to be perfectly honest with you, it's an honor and a privilege to have you sitting here, this interview with us and sharing your story with us. And I'll step aside and let you and Mr. Campbell kind of lay out what you mean to SWAC football and what you've done in this game.
All right.
Well, Ricky, here's the thing why I'm so excited. Because one of the things that, like we say, I actually saw you play in high school.
Oh, yeah.
I actually saw you dominate at Newell Field, Hughes Field.
Only
and
two field had then, yeah.
Hey, come on, you know, that's where we played our football at, on the Friday and on Thursday nights.
There you go. That's it.
You know, and I was in North Jackson, so, you know, anytime you guys played Murrah or play Callaway, that was a big, well, you know, all the city game was big game. But being a North Jackson guy, and, man, everybody was like, man, Lanier got this dude that's just straight working folks, man. And to sit back and to see the greatness. And what's funny, he's going to tell a story of a coach that he lived next to that kind of missed out on an opportunity. I'm going to let you tell that story. But the thing about it was, then you went on to Alabama State. I went on to FAMU, followed your career. We played you all, and then we talked about it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Got to see my guy. Like, man, that's my homeboy right there, whooping us down there in Mobile. But just to see how your life has turned out to be one of the all-time greats, not only at Alabama State, to be a SWAC Hall of Famer. And you got to understand, so from the city we're from, we got a lot of those guys that are from that city that are SWAC Hall of Famers or played at Jackson State. And to look at part of who you are, you helped build that program at Alabama State. I think a lot of people don't know that your class.
Yeah, my class.
Yeah, I know these things. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and what Houston Markham meant to that program and to get your teammate, who's now the coach, Eddie Robinson Jr. So we're going to talk about that. So, Ricky, what I think was kind of best is, why don't we let people know, and I think this is a great story, in the world there's somebody that's all city, all state, from Jackson, leave and then go to Jackson State.
Ooh, man. Hey, the only thing I can say, I say 3-4 words. What was told to me by the legendary himself, W.C. Gordon, you know, rest in peace. You know, when I finally, you know, took a visit to Jackson State, which was 2 weeks before signing day. We ranked number 4 in the state. You know, living there, we whooping up heads, you know. W.C. Gordon could walk out his front door and look to his right, and he could see Lanier High School, you know. But 2 weeks before signing day, that's when he brought me in, you know, me and a couple more guys on a recruiting trip. So the Sunday, okay, the Sunday, you know, time for us to leave and go back, you know, he always, you know, he interviewed with the recruits one by one before they left. But see, the thing about me, he didn't interview me at the hotel. He let me go home, and he called me over. So I had to walk through the passway from my street to his street.
Now, wait a minute. Now, let's tell people how close you live to W.C. Gordon.
Right behind him. You know, I just told I had to walk through the pathway through one street to his street, or I stay right behind him. You know, so I went over there. We sat down and talked, and this is what he told me. You know, a lot of people don't believe, but this is what he told me. That's what prepared me to go to a black school so I could play against him. He said, Ricky Jones, you're not a quarterback, son. You're not a quarterback. He said, what I want to do, I want to bring you in, give you a scholarship. I want to redshirt you your first year. And then when Kevin did vacate this free safety spot, I want you to step in at free safety. I want you to play free safety. I shook my head. I looked at him. I remember what I said. I said, Coach, thanks, but no thanks. I said, I see you on the flip side. Exact word. I remember that like it was yesterday. And so that's what prepared me to go to Alabama State. And plus, I had a brother going to school in Alabama and Birmingham at the time. So it was good. My mom said it was good for me to be close 8 miles, from my brother, just in case I needed someone, But I really didn't know where I was gonna go, at the time when I came out of high school, because I had, plenty of colleges, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, USM, a lot of SWAC schools, even had Oklahoma, Barry Switzer, they were running the option. To be honest, I was leaning toward, Oklahoma, because they were running the option at the time, which, but I didn't know. But when I had that visit with Coach Gordon, he told me I wasn't a quarterback. So I had to make sure, that I get a chance to play against him and show him, what I can do and what he missed out on.
Now that is the one thing that I think is so awesome. Now look, I'm gonna turn because Coach Cole is here, and I know he's got a lot. I'm gonna come back. We gonna get into it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I got one thing to say. How many times did you beat Jackson State?
I went 2 for 2. 2 for 2. But put it like this, the 2 times I started, we won.
There you go.
I just want
to put that on the last 2 years, your junior senior year.
Yeah, we won. I came in and played my freshman year. I came in and played my sophomore year, but I wouldn't have started.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started, we handle our business.
All right, well, Coach, you here? I'm gonna turn it over to you, because me and my homeboy go. Listen, we 88 right here.
Hey, look, y'all go ahead. I'm getting myself situated, because all I know is I was a young coach at the time, and we came to Alabama State down at the Crampton Bowl. Mm-hmm. And we were playing this cat, man, watch for the play action pass, and he can't get outside the end. He get outside the end.
That's it.
And hey, man, we had some guys, man. Coach, we had Mike Strahan.
Yeah.
Went to the Giants. We had Joe Birch went to the Patriots. We had Evans went to the Cowboys.
I know Mac Strahan was able to pin him up in that.
No, he didn't touch me. He didn't touch Ricky Jones.
We slowed him down, Coach.
Yeah, but he didn't touch.
Will Moore caught the touchdown over in the corner to tie it up, and the clock, the lights, everything went off. The refs went everything went off. But it was a
Rocky,
great
let me say, hey, Ricky, I'm gonna let you join in. But you gotta say, Rocky, what was crazy? They were undefeated, and that was the tie. They went 11-1. Yeah. And there you go with those guys. Because everybody was like, wait, and confirm about Rick, you was saying, everybody was like, they tied Texas Southern?
Man, you know how it is when you go to Texas Southern. You play the ball, man, in the SWAC. You already know you go down to Texas Southern, but you playing more than just a football team. You know what I'm saying? Jackson State, them alumni, they know. Hey, he know they took a touchdown back from us that game.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna talk about that. They took a touchdown. They said we was out of bounds, the back of the end zone, but we wasn't. We saw it on film, but that's Texas Southern. But yeah, we tied them. That's the only blemish. On that 19 winning streak that we went on.
They don't never take enough of them though.
No, they don't.
Rick, I think that was the first time in HBCU history that they actually played a national. That was the first time when they actually got a real national champion. Because y'all went and played North Carolina A&T, right?
Yeah, that's the first one. They used to always just give a black school the national title, but that was the first time you actually played a game to become a black college national champion. You're right about that. We were the first one back in 1991. Yep. Right. They were playing. They were called the Heritage Bowl then. They switched it to Celebration Bowl.
Yeah. Now y'all know he played with the great one, Eddie Robinson and Reggie Barlow. And Braxton and the whole crew, you had great guys around you, man. And Alabama State has always been ahead of people when it comes down to support. You know what I mean? Y'all had a great support as well. Back then, when you were choosing where you wanted to go to school at, black schools was just as important as they would call them Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I was great. I made all state, so I'm going to the state school. It was Jackson State. I was going to Alabama State. I was going to, those top schools as well, right?
Oh yeah. Alcorn, Grambling, hey, top schools, baby.
Yeah.
You know.
How you feel now, that you're out and you look back and people sometimes say negative stuff as if you can't get where you want to go going to a black school?
Man, that's not true, man. I tell these kids right today, they love to look at the Power 5, look at the TV, but don't forget SWAC, black football, HBCU, they on TV now too. So, they want to look at, the Power 5 schools. And I tell them all the time, and like y'all heard it before, hey man, it don't matter where you playing at. If you go out there, do your thing, handle your business, man, hey, they gonna find you. And the only thing you need is an opportunity and a chance, and you get the NFL team, they bring in a lot. They probably don't draft them, but they bring in a lot of HBCU football players. They give them opportunity. So when they give you that opportunity, now it's up to you to make best of that opportunity. When you out there, handle your business,
Yeah.
So you see a lot of guys right now that's playing in the NFL that didn't get drafted, man. But they got that opportunity and they made best of that opportunity. And that's why they're in the NFL right now. So it don't matter where you go, because back then when I was playing, they were selected then. We would get drafted. You know what I'm saying? We would get drafted. Jackson State, one year, I know they had probably about 7 or 8 guys got drafted one year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we get drafted.
Did some of your close friends go to Division 1A programs at that back in time?
Only one that was behind us, dude named William Gaines. He went to Florida A&M. I mean Florida Gators.
Gators,
Yeah,
yep.
and I forgot
Big Gaines did go down to Florida.
Yeah, and my tight end, what's that name? Robinson. He played tight end. He went to Ohio State. They were like 2 years behind him. Oh yeah.
He came up there
his name Craig Robinson. Craig Robinson, yeah. He was about 6'5", 6'6", big boy.
Now, both of you guys appreciate this. One of the things that I know of going to a black school, of course, I went from Ohio to Texas, is when on Christmas time, when you came back, Ricky, as a superstar of the superstar you was in high school, you also had stories to tell about campus life, party life. Kind of go through that. When you had chose to go to Alabama State, did you ever feel like, man, I might have should have went somewhere else?
No, to be honest, I didn't. It never crossed my mind. I was happy, where I was at. I never thought about going to a white school, because, African American people, I love them. I love my people, and to me, they're like one big party every day. On HBCU campus, you know what I'm saying? So we enjoyed ourselves, we did some things that we would not reveal to nobody. You know what I'm saying? We did. You been in the car, you know how it is, but we enjoyed ourselves, man. We had some time, so no, I never thought about going nowhere else.
Now,
hey, Coach, I want to say something, and Rick is going to understand this. Jackson was just different because we had so many people that was HBCU centric around us. And Ricky know this. Nobody from Jack and Ricky, I'm not lying about this. Not one guy from the city ever went to Ole Miss.
So did.
Never.
I do my time.
All state, all American. Not one guy. And matter of fact, and his name will come to me. That dude from the coast that played quarterback that was 2 years ahead of us. He took his ass up there, and everybody told him, "Don't go up there.
Don't go that way." Yeah.
And coach, so you gotta stand up. So you kind of have people. Like I say, they went down to Florida. You had a guy who went down, I think, went to LSU, USM, and Mr. But when I say nobody from Jackson went to Ole Miss, nobody. So it was like a big thing, like Ricky said, to go to a Grambling, to go to a Jackson State, to go to Alcorn, to go to Alabama State, because like you say, it was like, man, we getting drafted from here. Why do I need to go?
Exactly.
Exactly. So that's the whole thing, man. That's what's so crazy about that when you say that. So for us in Jackson, it wasn't like we, and I don't want to take this over. But when I got to Florida, I was just so shocked and went down how it was so Florida-centric of Florida State, Miami. And I'm like, we don't, Georgia, we don't rep Mississippi State like that. We don't rep Ole Miss like that. You know, so I just had to put that out because Ricky knows exactly what I'm talking about. So, Coach, I'm sorry, I just wanted to add that context to that.
No, I was going and see now that you're back, you come back to the community. Have you explained where you are? You know, you're sitting back, you look relaxed, man. You know, your life seems like it's going in the right direction. Tell them where you're at now and what they've done for you at this. You're still a hero.
Man, I'm back in my hometown, Jackson, Mississippi. You know, back in my alma mater, you know, Lindner High School. You know, hey, in 2027, Cole, I can walk away. I can retire, man. I got a couple more years, I can retire. You know, so I'm just living my life, you know, but I'm doing a little coaching, a little football. You know, like I was telling him, you know, I retired. I called myself retired from football last year, you know, but I was out for one season. But then another guy from Callaway High School, he got the head coaching job. He looked at the roster, Lindner roster. He was like, he called me, he said, Rick, man, I don't see you on Lindner roster, man. He's still coaching. I said, man, I shut it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm done coaching. I'm gonna sit back and these last 3 years, I'm gonna sit back and go see me some Alabama State football, and I'm gonna walk up out of there. But then he said, man, I need you at Callaway. He said, Lindner don't want to use you. They don't want you. He said, man, I want you. Come to Callaway. So I gave him a week or two. I had to think about it, you know, and find out I had a nephew for me going to Callaway. So I was like, okay, man, I come over there and help you out. So that's where I'm at now. You know, I'm at Callaway High School, but with 2 more years, I can retire.
No, I'm actually saying you've told me you at the cigar bar. We need to give them a shout out. If you come to Jackson, man. Hey, tell them where you are and what they done for you, how you set up.
Oh man, this family, man. You know, I'm at Havana Cigar Shop on I-55 Furnace Road, right in North Jackson, baby. This where I be.
What is it called?
Havana Cigar Shop.
Okay, because I actually called a game down near there, Mississippi Valley and A&M, and I ain't have a cigar bar to go to.
Oh man,
it's called Savannah.
Havana Cigar Shop, man. One of the best cigar shop in Jackson, man. I mean, we just like family around here. You know, got a lot of guys. They outside now. They in the back on the patio watching us as we speak. You know, I mean, they got me in the room, shut the door. It's just me. This is a room where they sit down and smoke cigar with the TV, but they gave it to me.
Well, if the owner's around, you know, this is HBCU, man. We want to give them some shout out and some love. They taking care of you like they supposed to. If you get a chance to come in, get him in the camera, because you know, hey man, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
Black love, coach.
Yeah, he said he was gonna show up tonight, but I haven't heard from him yet. You know, the guy that run the cigar shop. He's a good guy, and matter of fact, he done put out a book. I told him I'm gonna put his book up here and show his book. You know, you know, he written the book. You know, but he haven't showed up yet. But if he do, I hope he come knock on the door or something. Yeah, we'll bring him off in here.
Yeah.
Hey man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, man. Shout out to I-55 North. That's North Jackson right there. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Now, listen, that's my neck of the woods there, coach. And I know exactly where that cigar bar is. I've been there, good folks right there and everything. So, man, listen, shout out to the people at Jackson, take care of my homeboy and stuff like that. Because, see, coach, no matter one thing about Jackson, I tell people this, and Ricky, here's the funny thing. This social media thing is different, you know what I'm saying, and people. So people think they know people and things like that. I said, bro, I'm international looking up. When I go to Jackson, I am Jackson. Do not get it twisted. So when you from Jackson, man, and you done with Ricky Dope, man, people don't forget. I'm talking about you from the littlest to the oldest. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody kind of knows everybody. So shout out to them. Shout out for them, you know, giving you a great space to come on and stuff like that, man. Like I said, you looking fabulous. But I just want to know, that's the Jackson community, straight up.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, like I said, then what's so bad about it? I don't love JSU fan. Don't tell nobody. But they take care of me, though, man. They still look after me. They take care of me. You know, a lot of these JSU fans, they my family. You know, I went to Alabama State, man. We still close. We still jank, especially since they beat me a couple of weeks ago. Now, wait
a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Big game. Did you get a chance to go to the game? Would you go to the game?
Yeah, you know, I was on the sideline.
Okay, now, Ricky, you on the sideline, you a Jackson guy. You lead the state. I know you went to the Havana bar. You went to the cigar bar. What happened when you rolled all that blue and white was on top of you?
Oh, man. Hey, they still talking. They still talking now, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, after the game, Came down to the cigar shop. Oh man, they gave it to me, man. They gave it to me, you know, cause we talked all for the last couple of weeks before we played. Oh, we talked, you know, put a little money down. You know what I'm saying? I had to come in and pay everybody off, man. You know, I had to pay everybody off. So they let me have it, man. They let me have it.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome. Go ahead, Rocky.
Let me ask you this here. First off, I'm a cigar connoisseur myself, Mr. Jones, and so I gotta ask, what you smoking, my brother?
Placencia right now, baby.
Oh yeah, you smoking good. You smoking good.
Oh yeah. And you want to know what I'm drinking?
What's that?
Hey, that dude's 12, baby. Wake up in the morning, you won't have no headache or nothing. You ain't know.
Hey, Mr. Jones, you living good, sir. Anybody who know Mr. Jones living right. He's smoking a Placencia cigar with that Dewar's 12. It just don't get no better than that.
Hey, Rocky, you know what, Rocky? I don't drink that much, you know. I just really drink on days start with tea. You know what I'm saying? Like Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? Thursday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. You know what I drink, man.
Hey,
Rick, you gotta tell us at least about one story. You gotta tell a story either about Reggie Barlow or Coach Robinson. Or I knew all them cats. You gotta give me one good story, but with your personality, you probably don't cuss everybody out in the
man. I done cuss Markham out and everything, man. Markham, I can tell you a story about me and Markham. Me and Markham got a story more than.
Go ahead, Coach Markham. Let us have one.
Hey, before we get started, let me tell. Why did you get suspended for the FAMU game?
It was on a Sunday. You know, on Sundays. We have a meeting on Sunday, and then we'll go outside at night and we'll run. They call it running the kinks out, you know, from day before playing in the game. So we was outside, you know, running, and they told us to run around the field. And it was doing a little raining out there. So they said, go all the way around the field, go behind the goalpost, stay outside the field. So me being me, you know, I want to run on the field. I ran inside the goalpost instead of outside. So the offensive coordinator, coach, he said, Ricky Jones, go in. Just go in, son. So I left. I went in, you know, but I didn't go to Houston Markham. I went to the dorm. So I started hanging out on campus. You know, I'm chilling while they had practice. So the next day, that night, Markham found out, hey, he came and got me out of my room, you know, and took me to his office. And we talked, and he said, well, son, I'm going to find out tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going to do with you. So the next day, he called me in and said he's going to suspend me for that FAMU game, which is that following week that we had to play. Wow. So he suspended me for the game. So that's why. That's the first time I got suspended. I got suspended again, too.
Now Rocky, here's the bad thing. Now, mind you, now they coming down there. They don't have their quarterback, right? And them suckers still beat us 23-8.
Yeah, 23-8. That was the score.
Still beat us 23-8. And I will say this again, because I'll explain it to you. FAMU was in a very interesting transition. That's when the height of Florida State, you know what I'm saying, and Miami and Florida. So FAMU football was kind of like in an in-between. Thank God that we brought it back. And I'm sitting up there at this game, and everybody like, man, when the band gonna play? I'm like, bro, we lose this game. I'm talking about this game right here. So, you know, come on, man. And then, like I say, then he play the next year, and then there he go.
Yeah. Next year we beat y'all 44-32. Y'all came to Mobile for that classic. Yeah, wow. We beat y'all pretty bad. I had a good game that game. Rushed for 3 touchdowns, threw for 1, threw for almost 300 yards, rushed for over 100 some yards. Yeah, I had a good game that game.
Now, Ricky, let me ask you this, right? I remember guys in the SWAC. Now, again, these are guys I heard about, didn't necessarily see, but they ultimately would become stars. Fred McNair, not Fred McNair, but Fred was a star too. But
Fred was a star, yeah.
Steve McNair, Doug Williams, Shaq Harris, Robert Kent, some guys from Jackson State. What happened to the quarterback position in the SWAC? Because we didn't, for the last 5 or 6 years, we didn't have a dip. What, in your opinion, I've asked everybody that question. What happened to the great SWAC quarterback?
In my opinion, hey, Power 5, the big school. That's where they going, man. We not getting the athletes like we used to, man. We just not getting them. Now look at Jacoby. Where did he go before he went to Jackson State? Came to Jackson State. It wasn't a Power 5 school, but he went what? Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. See, back then we want to go to a black school, man. You see what I'm saying? We want to go to a black school, but now, no, man. They see TV. You know, they giving out their NIL money, man. So you ain't finna get no hellified quarterback just come to the SWAC like we used to. You know, if they do, believe me, they've been went to a Power 5 first and see, okay, I can. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to come down to the SWAC, but right off the rip, we just not getting them. Now that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and this year is almost a renaissance, in my opinion, because you had Jacobian over at Jackson State. You got Ransom at Bethune-Cookman. You had Brown at Alabama A&M. T-Stat at Grambling. These guys are really playing the quarterback position the way it used to be played back in the SWAC. Now what's happening is these quarterbacks are dealing with injuries, right? Is there anything you can see that these guys need to do to stay healthy? Because Brown, Jacoby, and that have all went out on injuries.
Well, hey, only thing I can say, Rocky, they just don't make them like they used to. You know what I'm saying? These kids fragile, man. They fragile, man. Like I said, when I played that position, Rocky, I never slid. I never ran out of bounds. My coach used to get mad. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't slide. I played my position. I played my position like I was playing linebacker.
Ricky, tell people what's your size. What was your size in college? What was you height and weight?
I was 6'1", 190. Run the 4.340.
Wasn't no little dude, bro. He wasn't no little dude. And he was just running over folks over there. Poor Jim Hill. They played Jim Hill just wrecked them and everything. No, man. So
offenses weren't designed for the quarterback to run unless he came off of a bootleg or he extended the play and made it happen. Offenses now, our quarterbacks are involved in the run as well as what he's saying about the Division I schools taking the best quarterback. This spread offense is designed for the quarterback to run, you know, and that's what's happening. And when you only got 5 blockers and every now and then a blocker in the back, you expose yourself to getting hit big. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
You know, I'll say this, Coach. You say that quarterbacks wasn't designed to run back then, but I remember back when we played football. Now we played the wing tee, the quarterback ran. The triple option, the quarterback ran.
There you go.
Right. We even used to have something called student body right, and the quarterback ran.
Yeah, I agree with you because I ran the ball a lot. We ran triple option. We ran triple option in Alabama State. We ran the sprint out. But like I said, everything I did from up under the center. You know, I never got in the shotgun. You know, I played that old school football and everything. Like I said, I was up under the center, man. So I had to drop back 5 yard or 7 yard step, then read the defense.
Let me say this. We used to even do this, even in high school and when I played in college. We would have live periods where we would say, the coach would say, the quarterback is live.
It's live. Yeah.
Hey, right. When you talking about now, because y'all knew we were talking about back then.
Hey, none of them programs won either.
Coach, hey, 8-3-3-1, Coach. We won. We did. We ranked number 4 in the state. We hit every day in practice in high school. Every day. Even at Alabama State.
What I was getting to is Mr. Jones, is the quarterback now is shielded from all contact unless it's in the game.
In the game.
Do you think that has affected the quarterback's durability? Because, again, that's just my opinion. There's the fact that they only get contact in the game. Do you think that affects a quarterback's overall durability?
Yes, I do. I really do think that. You know, they need to feel some contact during the week, not just on the weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? They need to get loosened up during the week, man. I mean, you know how to sprint through them, but they need to get a little thugged up, you know.
Real quick, Kenny Banks said y'all 9-0, Coach?
Well, yeah, Litton, they're 9-0. I'm at Callaway coaching. I'm still at Litton,
Okay.
I'm Callaway coaching. Yeah, my Bulldogs, yeah, we 9-0.
Yeah, say 9-0, and y'all ranked number 3 in 5A, I guess, in the state. Okay.
Yeah.
I just give you a shout out. You know, one of our viewers was giving your high school a shout out.
Yeah, appreciate it. We can tell them we got a tough game this week. We played Cleveland. So we get past them, I believe we end up being a number 1 5A team in our division.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, hey coach, like it's interesting, Mr. Jones. Me and you came out of high school the same year, right?
Okay.
And I remember guys who were quarterbacks for the University of Oklahoma. You may remember Jamel Holloway. You may remember Charles Thompson.
Yeah.
Right. Though you almost look, your height and weight was a prototype for an Oklahoma option quarterback, and you turned them down to go to Alabama State.
Yeah,
That's remarkable, coach. That would never happen in today's game.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Right.
no, they've been jumped on that from the door, man. You know, but like I said, yeah, I had opportunity, but hey, I had to go HBCU, especially what WC Gordon told me. You know, so I had to play against him.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky,
Rocky,
let me tell you something.
you got somebody in the weight room?
One thing, Coach. Wait, one thing I just want to reference Rocky. Because, Ricky, this is what's so funny. Rocky just can't comprehend in his Texas-centric Baylor living area that we could go to HBCUs and succeed in football. Every time you people listen, you were like the 6th person that's come on here that has played and said, bro, we wasn't going. Rocky, we weren't going.
No, we wasn't going, man.
So I know it shocks you, but we were built different, bro. We was built different. I'm trying to tell you, and our parents didn't want to play that game. So I'm just letting you know. He is just, and I'm saying this joking with him because it totally blows his mind, Ricky, that all you superstars went to HBCU. But that was just what we did. That was what we did.
No. And you're absolutely right, Mr. Campbell. Coming out the same year, the top guys on my high school team two of them went to Texas A&M, one went to Oklahoma, and the other one went to his brother at Texas Tech. Like that's just what guys did. You know what I mean? It wasn't uncommon. And then the next year we had another 5 or 6 guys that would go to, at that time, Southwest Conference schools. They didn't consider schools like Prairie View and TSU as a viable option. And to be honest with you, Coach Cole never showed up in Waco, Texas, trying to recruit none of us, to be perfectly honest with you.
Man, no football players up there, man.
Hey, Coach. I guess Derek Johnson, Andy Witt. Come on, Coach. What I'm simply saying is it was a different mentality about we wanted to be like the stars we saw on the news and on television. And you're talking Earl Campbell. You're talking Eric Dickerson. You're talking, you know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that we emulated and wanted to be like.
Well, let me hit you on that, Rocky. I'm glad you said that. Because when Ricky and I grew up, we saw Jerry Rice. We saw Ike Hope. We saw Mark Brazil. We saw Walter Payton. You see what I'm saying? We saw superstars. We played, like you said, played against Michael Strand. So see, that's what people gotta say. In the state of Mississippi, all the Hall of Famers were at the SWAC school.
Right school.
You see what I'm saying? 2 of the top 5 players played. Jerry Rice when we were coming up because Steve McNair's behind us. So you talking about Jerry Rice and Walter Payton in the top 5 of all. This is what we saw.
Arneas Williams.
You know,
Williams.
You know, so when you see it, Rocky, again, and to Ricky's point, you see all these guys all going to put all these defensive backs in the NFL. Jack State got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys getting drafted, and I'm talking about first rounders.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Ricky and those guys come through, so it was nothing for them because Ricky, I'm sure if you looked at the time when you played, you probably played against about 50 guys that went to the league minimum.
And for real, yeah, especially from Jackson State, man. Jackson State, then Alcorn, they were sending folks. Then Southern University, they were sending folks up, man.
So that's the thing, and Ricky just tickles me because, as they say, I'm the historian on here, and that's the reason why I'm just like, bro, listen, and again, I'm gonna keep saying this: the best schools in Mississippi was Alcorn and Jackson State, Mississippi State, and all. It wasn't even a thought process.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right about that. They weren't doing that.
It wasn't even a thought. Oh, Miss, are you serious, man? Get up out of here with that. So that's why it's, you know, and the respect of Rocky to give that balance. But it was just, and you know, Ricky, and this is the thing that breaks my heart. When you look at the Alabama states, the FAMUs, the Jackson states and stuff like that, and I see kids not even considering it. You know what I'm saying? Where it probably might be the best play. Well, they go and sit on a bench at Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Man, go to Jackson State, be a superstar.
Exactly.
Why are you going to Florida and you're not even playing? Come to FAMU and be a superstar. So that's the crazy thing about it, man. So not to take that over, but I'm just gonna keep reminding, man, we from Jackson, we built different, baby. We built different.
All day.
Oh man, yeah, crazy. All right, Coach, we got on something. Can you just give us a story? One of those stories with you and Coach.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, this, you know, Eddie Robinson always talk about right now since he's been coaching that, hey, he never lost, you know, a Magic City class. He only lost one. And this the time when we were playing Alabama A&M my sophomore year. Okay, Coach, week before that, he was always tell me, hey man, you need to throw the ball more. You know, quit running, because they don't want me to get hurt. They thought I was gonna get hurt. Quit running, throw the ball. So this particular play was 3rd down to 8. We was up 10-7 in Alabama A&M. It was 3rd and 8. We did a sprint out, 19 sprint out. Slot receiver ran the post corner. My receiver named Harry Brook. So I threw the ball. I could have ran the ball. Probably could have got 30 or 40 yards. But Howard Brook both wide open. I laid it out there, hit him dead in the hand, and he dropped the ball. So it was 3rd and 8. So I'm coming to the sideline. You know, I'm like, God, Lee, how he dropped that? And I had my head down as I walked past Houston Markham. He hit me on the shoulder, started cussing me out. You black, I mean, you go hard. You black son of son. Why you didn't run the ball? I said, man, you need to make up your mind what you want me to do, man. You tell me to throw the ball. When I throw it, now you want me to run the ball. I think you no, you just scared. Yo, black scared. I said, man, you. He said, woo, no, you, Tony T, warm up. So that's the backup quarterback. So I cussed him out middle of the game. He cussed me back out and put me on the bench. And we know what? And I said, know what? I said, we're going to lose this game. Eddie Roberts tell you all day. I said, we're going to lose this game. And you know what happened? We lost the game. You know what I'm saying? So we would leave before I went out. You know, and we ended up losing the game. But second half, all the coaches, the player, they come up to me, man. I'm sitting on the fence, looking up in the stand, you know, I ain't thinking about them. You know, they, man, Rick, man, go apologize to coach, man. Go apologize to coach when you get back in, man. We need this game. I wouldn't do it for nothing in the world. So we end up losing that game, you know. But, yeah, that was one of the best stories, man, that we always talk about when we get together as Alabama State, the football team get together. Eddie Roberts, he loved to talk about it, you know. So we always talk about that and we laugh about it.
Now, how many years did you start?
I started my last 2. Solely just me started my last 2 years. My first 2 years, I started a certain game. The game I didn't start, I played wide receiver. So I had to be on the field. You know, if I wasn't starting at quarterback, you know, I was playing wide receiver. But see, as a freshman, we had two juniors quarterback. One of the starter, he's Tony T. He was 6'4", 215. He prototype. I mean, he can hum that ball. So he was a starter. Then the backup was a guy named Robert Days. He was a junior. You know, but they knew I had to play somewhere on that football field. So they were like, okay, if we don't start a kid at quarterback, we need to put Ricky Jones at wide receiver.
So your first year there was in 96?
No, my first year there was 88.
88. I'm sorry, in 88.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my first year, 1988. And you know what? And they were going to redshirt me. And I'm going to tell you how I got a chance to start playing. The 3rd game of the year, we played Texas Southern, my freshman year. Coach John McKenzie called me into his room, who was in Mobile. He said, Ricky Jones, I want to let you know we're going to redshirt you your first year. Oh, me, I'm stubborn, I'm mad. You know, I went out the room cussing, going, I'm mad. So the game, we played Texas Southern, your school, Coach.
Yeah.
You know, Texas Southern, they were looking bad back then. They weren't, you know, they were bad. The worst team in the SWAC. But look, Texas Southern was leading us at halftime, 7-6. And we had Big Brad Baxter. You know what I'm saying? We only had one first down. In the first half. And we losing by 1 point, 7-6. Hey, when at halftime, they put the first screen started, the second screen, then third screen that started. So when the halftime, Houston Markham mad, he going off. For some reason, I just got eye contact with him. You know, because I was like probably about the 5th or 6th string quarterback then. And he looked up at me, I looked up at him. He was like, Crab, you want to play? I'm looking at it, I was like, yeah, I want to play. He said, well, you start second half. He said, you can't do no worse than these, Joker. So I went out there. I started. I had over 100-some yard rushing. You know what I'm saying? Did my thing. We wound up beating them 21-7. We beat them 21-7. From that point on, that's when they knew, okay, we got to put this kid on the field. He got to play.
Hey, we got somebody. Hey, we want to fact check that story, Mr. Jones. I understand. I think I got somebody on here who can fact check that story.
Who you got? Who you got?
Sir, can you fact check that story?
Hey man, hey, Ricky Jones is a bad man. Everything he tell you is true. This is Eddie Robinson. Rick, how's it going?
Man, that's my bro, man. He love that story. Eddie, what's up? You my man.
Hey,
Rick, we just thought you needed some help, baby. You know, they don't believe how bad you were, Coach. So we had to bring SWAC on.
Nah.
You know, coaching on is SWAC.
He played. SWAC played with him. So he know everything about
now
it.
one thing about Rick, man, he has the best memory. Like he'll tell me about games and the detail is amazing. You know, I got to go back and watch the film just to confirm what he said. But it's like once he tell a story, I kind of remember it. But it's like, man, just knowing the scores and the situations and what happened on third down and what the coaches said, I don't know how he does it, man.
Hey, quarterback, you got to have a memory. But Ebron, what's up, baby?
Yeah. Man, everything good. About to head down there to old Prairie View. Drive out there in the country and see if we can't play a tough game and get out of there with a win. Hopefully, that's the plan. You know.
Well, hey, I got faith in us. As long as you leading the way, baby, we got this, baby. I ain't worried at all. You know,
yeah.
We can't play nobody like
us.
It's
gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good SWAC football game, so we looking forward to it. So it'll be good. But nah, man, let's talk about Ricky Jones, man. I tell all the kids on the team, you know, he was Michael Vick before Michael Vick, and not just because he wore number 7, but Ricky Jones is a bad man, and the people that see him and you watch those highlight tapes, the things he was doing at quarterback, and with Coach McKenzie at the offensive coordinator, it was next level type stuff. And so I'm sure he told y'all, but I mean, he hadn't played defense or safety since high school and got drafted in the 7th round. So that'll tell you the type of athlete he was to go out there and perform at the level he did. It was amazing watching him, you know.
You mean tell me you ain't told us you got drafted?
No, yeah, I thought y'all knew.
No, we knew. We wanted you to say it.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all never got around to it, you know. So, but yeah, I got drafted. Matter of fact, 8th round, you know. But I got word though. Joe McKenzie told me after the draft that the Raiders were looking for me during the 5th round. They didn't have no number on me. So I probably could have went 5th round to the Raiders.
Wow, Eddie, can you give us one story on my man? Whether it was a comeback or you went over there and said, "Hey man, quit turning the ball over."
It's so many great Ricky Jones stories. Rick, did you tell him about the one when we lost the classic?
I just told him that. I told him that everybody talking about when we get together, Coach. He talking about when I cuss Coach Morgan, cuss me back out. That's what he talked about.
Yeah. Well, Rick, what kind of leadership with Eddie? What kind of player was he?
Oh man, just like he is coaching. I mean, he always have been a leader. You know, he wasn't vocal. You know what I'm saying? He lived by what he did. You know, he wasn't no hoorah type of player. You know, he just went out there and did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So same way he played, that's the same way he coaching. You know, yeah, but he was a good guy. That was my guy, man.
Yeah. Now, the Coach Robinson, one. I know this is Ricky's show, but Rick's a Bama State too, man.
Oh
with
yeah.
Jackson State losing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, can you with Jackson State losing, y'all now are tied, but they're ahead of y'all by them beating y'all by 1. How can Alabama State? I know you've been doing the calculation. Come
on, Coach. Tell who your fan of this week, Coach.
So tell us, Coach.
We fam you, baby.
What y'all need to do to win the East? All right, I said it. Or what needs to happen?
You know, for me, Now, what I tell the kids, man, you gotta have that stoic philosophy, and I live by that. So that means that is no sense having regrets over the past, because we can't go back in time and change it, and there's no sense me worrying about the future, because I'm worrying about the future is gonna mess up the right now. So the only thing we could do is control, going out there and playing our very best game against a really good Prairie View team, and the rest of it is gonna happen how it's supposed to happen. So we can't. And I told the kids, like, we on the bus and we won the mastery classes, so we on the bus, and then they like, man, the Coach, the Jackson State game on, man. It's the tie game. It's a close game, whatever. So, of course, we cheering for Grambling and everything like that. And once they make the kick, and of course, everybody was excited. But like I told the kids, the only reason you cared about them winning was because we won. Had we lost the Mastery Classic, it would not have mattered. You know what I'm saying? So we could go through what needed to happen. But in every scenario, Alabama State needs to win on Saturday. So that's the only thing we can control.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Coach. You won a championship with a dynamic quarterback at the helm, right? And I got to ask you about this comparison between your dynamic quarterback that you have now and the great Ricky Jones. Is there any comparison? Are they alike in any way? Is there any correlation there that you can draw on?
I mean, it's a lot of correlations just from the leadership ability, just loving the game of football, being tough. I mean, Body can run. I think Ricky is just flat out a little bit faster than Body. I think just from a standpoint of just a pure foot race, man, I ain't seen many folks ever kiss Ricky Jones, man. When he took off running, it was get the kickoff team ready. It was amazing. And so I would say this: I have been blessed. And I tell you, I've been blessed. It is nothing worse as a defensive player to be on a team with a bad quarterback. Because you just sitting there like, man, we playing great defense. This dude is just not going. Like, we almost got to put the ball on the 1 yard line for him. You know what I'm saying? But think about it, man. In college, I got to play with the great Ricky Jones. Then I go to the NFL. I get to play with Warren Moon for 2 years. Then I got to play with Steve McNair. Then I went to Jacksonville. I was with Mark Brunell. Then I was with Bledsoe for the Buffalo Bills, and now I got Andrew Body. So I've been blessed to play with some really good quarterbacks that have been on my side. So,
man, give me the 40 time, Ricky. Give me the 40 time.
I've been clocked at a high 4.3, like 4.38, 4.39, low 4.4. Oh yeah. All right. When I used to get out there, I get out there, man. Hey, and one coach back in the day, he said, hey, one thing about Ricky Jones, when he take off running, he don't run for a first down. He trying to run to the touchdown. He trying to get a touchdown. So you can't let that guy take off running. And he was right. Every time I took off, I ain't see nothing but the end zone.
Well, Coach, what about mom, dad, brothers? Where you get all this talent from? Was you chased at home when you were little? Was it handed down? Any bloodline through the family?
Well, yes, I do. I have some older brother played baseball. They were pretty good in baseball. But my mom, she shot basketball. But I say I got my talent from being out playing against. I'm 12, 13 years old. I'm playing against guys 18, 19. I'm talking about playing tackle football. That's what we used to do back in the day.
In the street.
Yeah.
That's called child abuse now. That's child abuse now.
So, hey, Coach, I used to be the only guy in my neighborhood at 12 and 13 years old up there at JC Park playing against these guys 18 and 19. The other guy at my age, they used to be on the sideline watching and be like, man, you going out there and play with them guys? And when they used to throw the ball out, which was considered as a kickoff, they used to give me the ball to run it. And I used to run it all the way back. And I'm 12, 13 years old playing against 18, 19-year-old guys. So now, when I grew up and got on my level, so it wasn't enough for me to do what I do against guys on my level.
You was a man among boys.
Exactly,
Coach,
man. They taught me as a young age.
Coach.
So that's why I always have said that's where I got my talent from playing against older guys.
Yeah.
And Ricky, you didn't run track at all, right? You didn't run track.
So I ran 1 year Alabama at Lindner High School. Went to the state in the 220 and the 100. That's the only year I ever ran track.
Street fast, Coach. That's what we call it, just street fast.
Street fast. No training.
No
telling
training.
what I would have did if I was trained to run track.
Now, Coach Robinson, Ricky said he didn't have a red jersey on when he was in practice in college. Is that true? He said they were live. He was live in practice. I can't believe that, Coach. Y'all didn't touch him, did y'all?
I mean, you couldn't hit Ricky Jones. Everybody knew that. I mean, Rick. I mean, I tell people, man. They say, "Well, man, Coach, you was defensive player of the year and all that type of stuff." So we got on the Hornet special. The Hornet special was an old bus, looked like Martin Luther King bus. It had a couldn't go 60 miles an hour. We that bus all the way to Houston, Texas, man. and so when Coach Markham would come out, because everybody get on the bus, we leaving at 3:00 sharp. So Coach Markham get on the bus. He said, "Is Ricky Jones on the bus?" They said, "Yeah, Coach Rick on the bus. Let's go." And that was it. For nobody else. Once Rick, now sometimes Rick might not have been on the bus, so that's why he used to check. But once Rick was on the bus, man, we was rolling out. So I mean, Rick was next level, man. I just from what he did in the passing game, and then his ability to make plays, and just it was phenomenal watching him. I cannot. We have the 91 highlights here. I think I'm almost certain it's on YouTube. I'll send you guys the link so you can see. Now we played against Maynard and those guys in the what was the Celebration Bowl, Heritage Bowl at the time against North Carolina A&T. I mean, I think Rick, what you threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, caught a touchdown.
My stats that game, I threw for 214 yards and 1 touchdown. I ran the ball for 14 times for 152 yards and 1 touchdown. And I caught the ball twice for 2 touchdowns. Both times I caught, I scored touchdowns. So I had 4.
Rick, you on the number, man. Rick, I be trying to tell them my stats, so they had to go get the newspaper to find my stats. Tim, you just remember them days.
I just remember, man. I remember
Rick
like
said
yesterday.
152, 214 and a half.
214, baby, throwing the ball. So, hey, I believe right today, that record still stand, because, you're not going to find too many quarterbacks. They're going to go out there and catch a ball and score 2 touchdowns. Every time he catch, he's scoring a touchdown.
But they were running reverse passes or something, Rick?
No, what they did, we did the tailback pass. Tailback toss to the tailback, and I just, when you toss to the tailback, you just run your fake out. So I ran my fake out, and tailback stopped, turned around, just threw it back to me, and put out 2 blocks in front of me, and both of them were 50+ yards. So it wasn't no little 12 yard. Now I caught it and just tugged it up under my arm, baby, made move, and got some yonder. That's all it did.
Hey, that sound like Ricky Jones 28. How many did A&T have?
How many who?
Did A&T have?
What score? What they had 13? We beat them 36 to 13.
So it was only one score you weren't involved in, huh?
Only one. And I believe Rico, that was, I believe Rico scored. Rico White. Rico White scored.
Rick, you now you were doing all that, had great backs. Who was the wide receivers you was doing? I know one of them. Who was your wide receivers? Who was your go-to guy?
Hey, downtown Reggie Brown. He's still there in Houston, Texas. He was my go-to guy, but you know what? I still had 2 more. Derrick Roberts, he was standing 6'3". And then my shifted guy that we sent across the middle, Harris Brooks. I mean, he was a bad boy from Tuskegee, Alabama. But Reggie Barlow too. But you know what? We were so talented, Coach. Reggie Barlow couldn't see the field when we were playing. He redshirt. He couldn't see. He didn't get on the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We had some receivers, man.
Right. That Reggie Brown is
Coach, and off of that team, we probably had about. Well, I got drafted. Rick got drafted. Reggie Brown played in the NFL. Manny Martin played in the NFL for the Oilers and the Bills. And we had Reggie Barlow got drafted a couple years after that. Paul Ashby made it to camp. We had about 7, 8 guys off that team that all either got drafted or made it to the camp and then stayed in the NFL. And a couple of them played Canada and Arena also. It was a talented team, man. It was a deep team. It was amazing the many type of players we had on that team.
Hey, Coach,
now,
since we
now,
got
Eddie,
you on, let me ask you a quick question since we got you and Ricky on. You guys come play for Houston Markham. He comes from Jackson State. You guys literally built the program. Did you guys start seeing the talent being accumulated to it, you know, to the point where you guys were national champ, as you guys were freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and see? Did you guys kind of see, man, we starting to get guys that can play, and you guys win these games, even though you might have lost to Jackson State or Grambling early, but then your junior, senior, it started to change. Did you guys see that being developed?
Well, we know what really happened. I mean, the class of '88. That's where all us came in at. So we were there for 4 years. So by the time we hit our third or fourth year, we was in the same system for 4 years. So we had probably about 15 guys either started or got a lot of PT as true freshmen. So by the time our junior and senior year, we were ready, man. You see what I'm saying? We had a couple of guys came in, like Howard Brooks. He came in like a year or two after us. He probably about the only guy that started with him, and then we had a DB named Latrell Gardner, came from Miami, Florida. But other than that, the guy that started on that junior and senior team, we played a true freshman. So that means we got a lot of playing time. You know, so that's what that was.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Jones. You were from Jackson. Coach Robinson is from New Orleans. Were all the guys that played with you guys from that SWAC footprint? You know, just or were they mostly Alabama guys? Where were they from? Was there any like through line as far as location? Where you guys are?
They were all local. Coach Markham recruited just like I recruited. It was a 4-hour drive in Montgomery. So I mean, we went to Birmingham, Mobile, Pensacola. You might have went to Memphis and New Orleans, Jackson. It was a 4-hour drive. We might have had a kid from Chicago because his grandparents was from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was like, but everybody, it was in the area. So, like Rick saying, man, we came as freshmen. That's when Jackson State, you know, they had Darian Connors and Lewis Tillman. They was destroying the SWAC. So they intimidated us. It was like, so we pretty much was like, man, we want to beat Jackson State one day. So it was the same group of guys that just kept working, and our coaches did a great job of developing us. Because we weren't ready as freshmen, but they got us in the weight room, taught us how to play football, gave us confidence. And then the second year, I think Clemente Gordon and Jake Reed and all of them, and Grambling won the SWAC. And then the third year, we beat Jackson State, but Texas Southern beat us on those janky last-second field goal. And so we didn't win the SWAC even though we had beat Jackson and Grambling. So it was like the last year was when we finally hit it. But it was the same group of guys that were developed, and I think that's where people were kind of missing. Like the SWAC was known for taking guys that weren't NFL players, but they were good kids, and then you just develop them, and by the third or fourth year, they become NFL players. So that's what happened to us. It wasn't like a new influx of talent. It was the same freshmen,
same guy,
better and better every year. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas Southern was y'all nemesis, man. We for some
Man,
reason we always play y'all tough.
Walter Highsmith had a bunch of criminals over there, man.
Hey, Eddie, don't forget, Eddie. I believe we fired the guy that ran the clock for Alabama State our junior year because
he put 1 second on the clock and let them kick a field goal to win the game. If he let that go, we win 2 SWAC championships, man.
Exactly. Yep. They put 1 second back on the clock.
Wow. Man, that was fun. Boy, I called up Rocky. Ain't called yet?
No, not yet, Coach.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna have to shut it down, man. I'm gonna have to, because Ricky Jones will talk to y'all all night about Alabama football.
Hey, he's in. Hey, Eddie, give me 2 more minutes. He's in. He's waiting on you to take the call.
All right, hold on. I'm going in now.
Yeah, Ricky.
There's one other participant in the conference.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Downtown Reggie Brown. My man. If you want to win, put it in
what's
hand.
going on? Hey, look, Coach, I see Coach Cole. I see you got the GOAT on your show, huh?
Hey, man, look, the show wouldn't be the show if I didn't get Ricky Jones on and Coach Eddie Robb and, of course, my 2 guys, man. We ain't gonna let it die, baby. We ain't gonna let the SWAC die. We had to bring Reggie Brown downtown, man.
There you go.
Look, Coach, you know, there's downtown and there's Horace Brooks and there's Eddie Robertson. But I'm going to just tell you this, Slick Rick made it all go, man. You know, I tell people all the time, this guy was Mike Vick before it was Mike Vick. He was, you know, just extraordinary, athletic, super accurate. You know, we won our last 21 games with one time, and all of it because of our quarterback, Ricky Jones, man. Just an amazing, amazing talent. Student of the game. You can always find him in the coach with Coach McKenzie, learning the game plan, doing all the things that you have to do from a quarterback perspective for the team to be successful.
And both of y'all appreciate this. You know, you keep hearing the quarterback, the coach John McKenzie. He played in the early 80s where I had the opportunity to watch him. And you want to talk about somebody who was a magician, had that ball off that play fake, Rick, he could do it. He'll fake that thing up in there, man, and put it behind his back. And they say, you know, he throwing that thing down the Burkett. Man, it wasn't number 6, coach. So John McKenzie, great one. I think he won a couple state titles as a high school coach. I think he's still coaching.
Sure.
Not sure, but great coach, man, a great coach.
Well, you know, it's easy to coach when you got guys like Ricky Jones. You know, you just get out the way and don't let them, and don't you mess it up.
Hey, yeah, he was a hell of a coach, man. He had a bright offensive mind. I mean, we had so many trick plays, man, up our belt. You know what I'm saying? When I was playing, he said, long I got Ricky Jones, he said, man, I could do anything with you, man, and he did. Yeah. You know, we had so many trick plays. You'd be like, man, how they run that play? I'm talking about, I take one step back, throw it to my left to the receiver, come back and run all the way back to me and give it back to me, and I run around the end. You don't run a trick play like that to be successful. I run a touchdown with about 40, 50 yards. I mean, we done a lot of crazy trick plays that they were like, how do you do that? But he was always say, man, he said, because what I got back in that backfield, ain't no quarterback like you that can run these trick plays like that. So, I mean, he was had a bright mind as, you know, being an offensive coordinator.
Hey, we lost Coach Robinson for a moment, but I think we got him back on. Coach Robinson, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm listening to him, man. Y'all got downtown Reggie Brown on there, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Reggie, downtown. Hey, tell us kind of where you are. You know, I kind of feel folks in, but man, you just were sensational as well. You know, you were the go-to guys. I mean, when it was clutch, everybody knew they were going to you, and you were going to make that. Kind of tell us where you are, kind of bring us up real quick.
Well, I'll say this. I was very, very fortunate to just play on a great team. And when you got so many athletes around you like Ricky Jones and Horace Brooks and Derek Roberts and Eric Matthews and Rico White, and the list goes on, it's easy for me to get one-on-one coverage with a big body and then be able to make some plays. You know, currently I'm the principal here in Houston. You know, I played in the NFL for a few years and then went and got my doctorate. And, you know, married with 5 daughters, so I'm broke, but life is good.
Hey, well, Reggie, you were able to come to Texas. You were able to come to heaven without having to die. So you all right, Reggie?
Hey, well, I've been here for about 35 years, so I ain't going nowhere. Now, I left heaven, though, Miami, to come here, but it's okay.
But coach, hey, I see you praising Houston, Texas. Hey, I'm not going back, man. I got a daughter staying in Houston, Texas, man. Hey, them jokers up there for real, man. You know, I went up there about 2 months ago, man, and you know, as I been getting ready to leave out early Sunday morning, me and my wife been getting ready to leave my daughter's house to come back to Jackson, Mississippi, man. When I made it outside, man, and you know, she stayed. I just moved her to another place, you know. So when I opened the door to the garage, my truck was parked right there by the garage. When I opened the door to the garage, man, they had me on bricks. They stole out 4 of my tires out there. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So me and Houston don't get along right now. You know what I'm saying? So I told my wife, we go back to Houston, we're gonna drive your truck or we getting a rental. I'm driving mine, man. They have no bricks.
Hey. Well, Coach Robinson is gonna be heading that way in a few days. So check it.
Well, that's his home. That's where he stays. So
Oh, okay.
Now, Reggie, will you make the Prairie View Alabama State game?
Oh, most definitely. I called Eddie yesterday to get my ticket, but he didn't answer.
Hey, Ray, you got him on the HBCU
You know I got
Coaches
to tell her, Brian.
Eddie's about to go now. Watch. Coach Rose, like, I got to go now. I got to get ready for the game.
Now, Coach Robinson, come on, man. You make sure I'm taking care of Eddie. You make sure I'm taking care of Reggie Brown.
Let me go ahead and get my goddamn scat tab, motherfucker Monkey.
Hey man, what that?
I don't know who that was.
What that? They shooting, ain't
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, this guy who's calling in is from this guy from Jackson. Who is this guy? Oh, he dropped. But Coach, I know you getting ready for the game. You getting ready for the big game. Anything you like to say before you get off, Coach?
Nah, man, those guys, man, Ricky Jones, Reggie Brown, man, that's like the memories and the friendships we had, just from playing college football is incredible. And I think with that
I'm all in favor of Ricky Jones.
That's the one thing that's bad about it is that you don't get those friendships over 4-year periods when you're moving from school to school. So I'm just blessed that I was able to play with those guys and be lifelong friends with them and win the championship with them. So much respect for those two guys. Love you, brothers, man. Y'all just keep doing what you're doing.
Good luck this week, Coach.
All right, y'all take it easy.
All right, Coach. Thank you for calling. Hey, and that was the head coach of Alabama State University, Coach E-Rob, coming on to support his teammate and HBCU legend, SWAC Hall of Famer, Alabama State Hall of Famer, Ricky Jones. Rick, we got a lot of calls coming in. These people are from Jackson. Should I let them through?
it? Might be them Jackson State, but yeah, let them through. We cool. Let them through, baby.
All right. Go, hey, caller, with the last 4, 8989, you're live on HBCU Coaches Corner.
Let us through.
Hey, come on through.
Hey, turn your background down, caller. Turn your background down.
All right. I just want to say big shouts out to my boy Ricky Jones. This is Jackson, Mississippi. We just want to say big shouts out to Ricky Jones. Big shouts out to him.
Appreciate
We
you.
love you.
Appreciate you, man.
Likewise, baby. Likewise.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey man, we from Jackson, Mississippi. We Jackson, Mississippi, man. We're right here supporting our brother.
Okay. Appreciate
Jackson,
y'all.
Mississippi. We just supporting our brother.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So that's a true Jacksonia, man. Hey, I told you they know I went across the board, but they still support me. I like that. We still family.
You're live on HBCU Coaches Corner with the last 4, 0305. You're live on with HBCU Coaches Corner and the SWAC legend, Ricky Jones.
Hey, Coach, out of curiosity, what is your most memorable victory you ever had playing at Alabama State?
Good question.
Rick, did you hear?
I think Rick froze.
Did Rick freeze on us?
Okay.
That was a really good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We
was
can come back. We can come back to it.
Hey, by the way, what's your name and where you calling from, sir?
My name is Bullfrog, and I'm calling from Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
Bullfrog from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, is Reggie still on the phone?
No, Reggie dropped off, I believe.
Okay. All right, cool.
Hey, Bullfrog, we'll get your question answered here shortly. Rick dropped off. Hopefully he'll come back.
See, Rocky, let me tell you something, bro. Listen, when you see everybody at Jackson got an alternate name, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Bullfrog just let you know, bro. It's Bullfrog. Don't worry about these government names over here, bro. Bullfrog probably just chilling, relaxing, drinking a little something, watch his homeboy. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it, Jackson.
Hey, and this joker right here still ain't hung up. He's still on with us. Hey, what's your name? What's your name?
Yeah, yeah. I am still on with you.
I know.
Hey, this yellow from Jackson, Mississippi.
Yellow. See, we've had bullfrog.
Hey, this Jackson, Mississippi. Hey, we.
Hey, Yellow, what part of Jackson you from, bro? What part of Jackson you from?
Hey, the best part, Jacktown.
No,
Jacktown, man, the only town you can be from.
no, bro. Are you from North Jackson, West Jackson, South Jackson? What part of Jackson you from?
I'm from North Jackson.
Okay, you gotta represent, bro. North Jackson in the house. Come on now. You know how we do.
I'm from the north, but I represent the Jack.
We gotta get
Hey, look, I'm gonna make y'all podcast live now. Y'all really want to go? Hey, Ricky Jones already know me. He know I ain't playing no game.
That's MJ.
Hey, boy, wait, what night is this? Is this Friday night?
Man, told you Jackson State,
is this
man.
Saturday night? What night is this?
Hey.
Is this Tuesday?
Well, Ricky, what night you say you drank on, Ricky? What night you say you drank on?
I don't know. Days start with T.
Hey.
The night, it's Tuesday tonight.
Hey,
Yellow with you on Tuesday, bro.
Hey, Yellow and Bullfrog called in. Bullfrog had a really good question, right? And his question was, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Campbell, because I may mess it up. He said, what's your most fondest memory in a big win at Alabama State?
I'm getting two feedback.
Okay, somebody, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rick?
Yeah. I'm getting the question back to back. I mean, two feedback. But look, my most fondest memories, it got to be in 1990 versus on an 80-yard drive. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just a little freezing up. Let me.
Hey.
Hey, you call Jackson quite a bit, Mr. Campbell. Does this happen often in Jackson?
See what happened is all them brothers around Ricky, now they getting on the internet on their phone, they taking all the bandwidth. That's what it is. See, because now they're bored up there at the cigar bar. Hey, man, Ricky homeboy, get on your phone and check Ricky out, dog. So we got Yellow, Bullfrog, my homeboy Frank Clay in the house. We got these Jackson old schools in here, boy. So that's what it is, man. So listen, man. That's what we do, man.
We still representing all of y'all too, though. We out here just trying to support the whole cast.
Thank you. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for calling on. Hey, Yellow. Are you a Jackson State fan or are you an Alabama State fan, Yellow?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you a Jackson State fan?
I'll tell you like this. I'm a Ricky Jones fan, but I am a Jackson State fan. I am a Ricky Jones fan and a Jackson State fan.
All right.
Was you in Vegas this past weekend?
I'm back on.
Well, shoot, let's
get back to
Ricky. I went to San Francisco, so I let them have their way.
All right. Hey, thank you for calling in, brother. We finna finish up the interview with Ricky. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's close it and then go to the games.
So Ricky, go ahead. Let Ricky answer that. Ricky, the question was, what was your most memorable game at Alabama State? You were getting ready to answer that.
See, we look, they blowing up the internet, Coach.
Hey, everybody in Jackson on the internet right now.
That's what I'm saying. They taking all his bandwidth.
Cause all it's doing is loading on my side.
Okay. What about now?
Same. Well, he's out. He's out. You want him to let him call back?
Hey, Rick, can you hear us? Yeah, Coach. Look like he got connection issues. He can definitely call in. You can text him the number and get him to call in. Yeah.
Then we close it out. I'll do that.
Yeah, man. This has been a tremendous interview. I'd like to thank Coach E-Rob for calling in. Also, Dr. Brown for joining in. And this has been a tremendous interview with none other than the SWAC legend himself, Ricky Jones from Alabama State.
Hey, Rocky, I want to say something, which is great. And okay, did we got Ricky back?
He's froze.
All right, well, I'm just going to say, listen what you heard, what he said. He said, I'm Dr. Brown. Think about that for a second. This is what's so great about our schools and what they propel us to. This man played football on one of the greatest HBCU football teams, but still education was still a priority for he could sit back and say he has his doctorate. Man, that's what's just so great about what we do and how we do it.
Look like we got him on now. Oh, man.
All right, I need all y'all Jackson folks to get off the Wi-Fi and let our boy call in. And y'all get the same room.
You know they only got one channel down there.
They all on the Wi-Fi. Man, y'all get off the Wi-Fi.
They all on one channel, Cox. They all got one channel. All of them on one channel.
Bro, they don't want you the data. Get on your data plan for a second and let your homeboy finish the thing out now. Come on, Jackson.
And give it a Yeah.
We close it out.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine, Rick. Tremendous interview. I like to thank. We got a lot of background noise. Also, Dr. Brown.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine, sir.
Yeah, I had to go to my phone. I don't know what's going on.
You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Go ahead, Mr. Campbell.
Now, Ricky, one of the great questions was, what was the best game or the most memorable game that you had playing at Alabama State? And you were about to answer that because I think you said you threw an 80-yard bomb. So we wanted to hear that story because I think if the game I thought it would be, sounds like it's not the game that we all think it would be. So go, why don't you tell us that?
My most memorable game, like I said, Magic City Classic. I'm from Jackson, so that game counted like Jackson State and Alcorn. That's a big rivalry. So we playing Alabama A&M, and it was like 5 minutes left in the game. Alabama A&M was beating us with 20-7, and we had an 80-yard drive. We had to go 80 yards. I didn't throw an 80-yard bomb. We had to go 80 yards, to kick a field goal to tie the game or score a touchdown to win it. So we went 80 yards. We ran all that 5 minutes off the clock, and I sprinted out to my right side, and I threw back to my tight end for like a 5-yard touchdown to win the game with 24 seconds left on the clock. And I feel like that's my biggest memory because of the team we were playing and the classic that we were playing in. And like I said, and that's a big game, Alabama A&M and Alabama State for the Magic City Classic.
Yeah, they had 69,000 this past weekend.
Yeah, see, we still got the record when I was playing. We had 71, something like that, 71,000.
Wow.
No, and my senior year, I know we put up 53 points this year on A&M.
Yeah, 56.
We put up 59. We beat them 59-13. So we put up 56 this year. So we still got the record on that. The most points scored, we put up 59. And the thing about that, the week before the game, they interviewed me, the newspaper in Montgomery, and I told the newspaper, hey, man, we're going to beat them boys by 3 touchdowns. So I got called in the office by Houston Markham the next day when he read the paper, and he got on me real hard about predicting a 3-touchdown win. He was like, son, you must forgot this is the Magic City Classic. We don't care what record is, So he said one thing, you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to make sure we win by 3. So we beat them 59-13 my senior year. So I cover that.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Coach.
Yeah, let's try to make sure when he come back, let's kind of end it.
He's already back, Coach. He gave you ain't back yet.
Oh,
and Ricky, one thing, Ricky, how in the world y'all beat Prairie View 92-0?
Oh man, it wasn't our fault. You know, see, hey, a lot of coaches, especially Mississippi Valley, I believe that was their AD. He was real mad at Houston Markham for putting up 92 points. But what they got to realize, man, I only went 11 for 11 through 192 yards for 3 touchdowns. Man, by midway second quarter, I was out the game. All the stars was out the game. So we only had third team players and fourth team players. They played. So we put up 50 points in one quarter, which was the second quarter, which was an NCAA record. Probably still is the NCAA record for most points scored in one quarter. But like I tell people, if we cannot throw the ball, what else can you do? You got to run it. So we just ran the ball. But see, Steve McNair threw the ball 65 times. And when they played Prairie View, beat them by 63-0. They had nothing to say about that. They had nothing to say about how many times he throwing the ball. I just threw the ball 11 times. You know what I'm saying? The starter didn't play long. So, you know, the third and fourth team, you know, it was their day. They did what they supposed to do because they don't never play. So we weren't gonna hold them back, but we didn't throw the ball. We just ran the ball. So we just had, like I said, like Eddie said, man, we were deep. We had a good team, man. So everybody got the opportunity to see, okay, if Ricky Jones, the first, second string don't play, what can the third team do? And like I said, we had some great players on that team, so they had the opportunity, man. They went out there and showed out.
Yeah. Well, with Coach Jones, man, or Rick, man, I've seen you in action, and I'm pretty sure the people that see you, man, you're as sensational tonight as you were 20, 30 years ago, man. I mean, you were the first coach that could get it. You could throw it, you could run it, and I enjoy watching you. Of course, I've coached against you a couple times, man, and I just appreciate you coming on to the show, giving us your time and your energy. And man, I'm waiting to see the views. I want you to subscribe to our channel. Please share, continue to watch it, man. You know, we definitely will bring you back. You know, depending on how this championship thing roll out.
Oh yeah,
my mistake might twinkle toes through the back, and we might all be down in Houston together and going live.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt. I'll be there in a runner.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. You know, it was an honor, man. You know, I appreciate. I enjoy myself. You know, I just wish y'all much success in the near future with the show.
Appreciate you, man. Guys, y'all got something?
I just want to thank Mr. Jones for coming on and sharing his very insightful and interesting stories with us, man. Thank you so much.
And Rick, I'm gonna close it out, my brother, man. Proud of my 88 brother, proud of my Jackson brother, man. And you showing what Jackson produced, man. We always produce the best, man. And I'm gonna get Coach my number from your number from Coach. And when I come to Jackson, we're gonna link up.
There you go. Do that.
Hey, he expensive now. He ain't no cheap date.
Hey, Coach, listen, I'm from Florida A&M, but and Jackson, bro, we ain't worried about no money. This is my homeboy.
Yeah, we got the baby.
We don't pay. See, that's another thing too. I know folks too down there. We gonna be all right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take care of you, baby. When you get here, just holler at me.
I got you.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
All right, enjoy.
All right, man. That was a tremendous interview. I want to thank Mr. Jones and everybody from tuning in. Hey, you know, like we do, I've put the link to the home of the HBCU Coaches Corner, to the Rocky Miller channel. I'm going to suspend it on the Offscript channel. I want to thank everybody who's watched on the Offscript channel. We're going to cover the games, make predictions, do some talking, and I got a special surprise for you guys I want to share with y'all and really get y'all opinion of what you think about something. All right. We about to suspend it on the Offscript channel. Hey, y'all go ahead and type 1 once you switched over. I'll get the screens up with the scores of this game this past week. In the meantime, Coach Cole and Mr. Campbell, y'all tell the people what y'all thought about the action this weekend.
But Coach, you listen. Let's start with you. You were actually in the house for that great game of Jackson State and Grambling. Tell us about the atmosphere. You were there. You was all VIP'd up. You saw the great ending of the game. So tell us about how the game was and how Vegas was.
I mean, my trip to Vegas was fantastic. It was perfect, man. Had the opportunity to see a lot of HBCU graduates. And the surprise part was they weren't necessary for both teams, Jackson and Grambling. It was HBCU people from everywhere. They were using it as a vacation. A lot of people came in, fluctuated. They prepared for about 20,000 fans. And as you all know, they were 10,000 over. When we got there, they had the gates closed because it was so many people coming. I don't think they prepared for the influx of people who came. So what they would do was they would lock the outside gates, let people in. Once those people get in, they let the other people get in. It was a little frustration, and especially, it was for me because, of course, you guys know I'm usually going through another area to get in. But the people handled it professionally. Nobody really got upset. You heard some mumbling and grumbling. They weren't prepared, but Black folks showed up and showed out and represented great. Of course, we had 30,000 people. We filled up the bottom and a little bit at the top, but not way up. So it was a great game, as well as the people came in and showed up and showed out. The game was just as good as sitting in the Raiders Allegiant field. It was just as good. And as Davis would say, the owner, you got to win, baby. Just win. So, of course, Grambling came in and upset Jackson State, which was a shocker. I think the whole weekend was a shocker. So we'll get off into that. But great weekend. Of course, everybody know Vegas is a great place to go visit.
Coach, this is Rocky. Do you want to let Coach answer this or you want to wait?
No. Go ahead.
Coach, do you see his question on the screen right here? So what do you think about that, Coach? And again, this is not a criticism, so I want to be clear because listen, let me say this. Coach is not telling TC is a great coach. It's his observation. This is what we do over here, okay? So I don't want to hear none of this ish on Twitter talking about we talking bad about coaching because these are great coaches, but this is Coach's observation. So, Coach, go. I want to do that for you, Coach, because I know sometimes people get ahead of their skis and try to disrespect some of the things that you're offering and not, understand where you're coming from. So I wanted to put that out there.
Of course, I was there from the beginning, and I thought Jackson State was going to run away with the game. They came opened up, drove down, scored, got the ball back, stopped Grambling, drove down and kicked the field goal. I thought Grambling could not stop their run game. But what I seen and observed the play calling was if this guy was the starter. It was some option. I seen option, ball bounce over the place. I didn't see consistently of saying, look, we playing a backup guy. Let our defense win the game. Let's just run the football because we're very successful. But I didn't see that. I seen an open playbook as if these two quarterbacks was Jacoby. I didn't see an offense that was running to say, we're going to lead this game on our defense. We're going to secure the ball. I seen a lot of passing. They missed a couple of bombs. I thought a couple of fade routes that were touchdowns and they missed. When you miss those opportunities and you let a team stay around, a good team stay around like Grambling State, I take my hat off to Coach Joseph, Mickey Joseph, made some great adjustments at halftime, made great adjustments during the course of the first half to slow Jackson State down, man, and you let them stay around. And that's what happens, on any Saturday or any Sunday, any team that can be beat.
Okay. Yeah, Coach. I think me and Campbell talked extensively about this on the watch party. He called the game as if, you know, he was going to stick with the game plan as if the starter was in the game. And to be frank with you, in my opinion, Stouffer struggled. I also think Lockhart struggled, but he was able to get that one long play for a touchdown that put him back in the game and put him back up.
See, Rocky, and that's why I was saying what I said. I mean, you put these two guys in, big game, big stadium. You know what I'm saying? I don't. If he struggled because if I was the coordinator, he struggled because of the plays I called. I just didn't think we put the kid in a lot of great situations. You know what I mean? But again, I don't coach the kid. Maybe they seen the value in him. That hey, next man up. Let's stay with the game plan. This is what we seen instead of this is what he's good at.
Coach, let me ask you this here question, Coach, because this is something that came up during the game. It is speculated that it had been a decision made by the program that they were going to redshirt Lockhart. Now, this is speculation. This is not fact, right? And they put Stouffer in the game because of that decision that had been made to redshirt Lockhart. Let me ask you this, Coach. In those situations, can you make the decision to take a red shirt off a guy immediately like that, or do you have to come together with your other coaches and the kid and discuss that first before you take the red shirt off of, so to speak? Can that decision be made right there on the sideline without any consultation?
Well, of course, I think it should be made. Because I don't know if the rules changed. If you can't play after the third game of the year, if you're playing after the third game of the year and you get in there, that red shirt is off. So you have to make that decision early in the season about that. But sometimes you can say, hey, look, I want to take you on the trips. You're going to dress out. But look, we hang
Well, let me update you on the red shirt rules here. The red shirt rules now is that you can play in 4 games, any four games, and keep your red shirt. If you go in for the 5th game, at any point, you lose that red shirt. So, again, I don't know how many games he had played.
Right.
My point is to your point, you're saying that decision has to be made prior to the game. You can't try to make that decision on the sideline. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Now, if it's an emergency situation, you lose your starter, and do you got 3 quarterbacks left? If it's 3, then that red shirt guy is gonna go to number 3. He's not gonna stay at number 2. I don't mess with that. Me, if I'm telling the kid he's gonna red shirt, that's me. He's gonna red shirt. We're gonna go with the next guy, and we're gonna win and lose with that situation. Because guys, if he was better than Stouffer, he should have been playing in front of Stouffer in red shirts. Him, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think Stouffer is a red. Okay, so let me just clear the Jack say people. Stouffer is a red shirt coach.
He's already redshirted.
And Lockhart is a true freshman.
Okay,
and I think, and again, you know this, and I not to say they weren't prepared, but I think what it was, Jacoby has been pretty sturdy. You looked at it, way the game was played out. We're going to redshirt Lockhart. Stouffer's already been redshirted. We'll have the backup in Jacoby, because what you hope is to have a championship run so your quarterback stays upright. And unfortunately, it looks like it was almost like a fluke because he wasn't like off a big hit. So, that's why I think of what it was. And also, I got to get, TC, and man, I always tell people, you can't, tomorrow ain't promised to you. And I think TC was like, we try to win a championship this year. We don't know what's going to happen next year. So I think that was one of the things, the calculations that, he kind of looked at. And because Lockhart, that kid's got a lot of talent. So I think that probably went into it. Just me looking at it. I would have played because you're trying to win a championship this year. You don't know what's going to happen next year.
Yeah. Well, I think I would kind of take your advice there, Coach. You know, I'm gonna play the three quarterbacks, red shirt, not red shirt. If you're just sitting there with three, you know what I mean? If you're sitting there with four, then you have the guy calling. A lot of that just have to be decided. I think more so on this game, it was about, can these two guys play the same game plan, or do they know the offense just as well as Jacoby might know the offense? I think to me it comes down to a team thing. Are we gonna put the game in these two kids' hands, whether it's red shirt, not red shirt, or we gonna be more conservative offensively and let the defense stop them and win the game? I mean, that's the way I've seen it before I've known about the red shirt and all that happened. Because evidently it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, we can go ahead and go to our games from this past weekend, Coach, and we'll discuss that Jackson game a little more. But, Coach, you said there was some upsets, and you're absolutely right. And let's not hesitate about this one, Coach. This was before Grambling upset Jackson, Coach, this was going to lead all the HBCU conversation on social media and Twitter. This was going to be the game, the big upset. When you heard the outcome of this game, and I know you were in Vegas when you heard it, what did you think about this upset, Coach?
Man, I was shocked, Coach, to be honest. I was shocked. I mean, North Carolina Central at that point in time was the number one football team, HBCU football team, and probably one of the top 25 Division I AA teams. You can't say enough about the head football coach and the success he's had. With Deshaun coming in, you've seen a lot of good things he done with the team early. I didn't feel that his schedule was real strong because there was a lot of Division II programs that he played, which I thought was a great strategy from him and the athletic director in their program of doing that. Because it's always important when you come in and take it over a losing program that you try to get some wins. And I thought that was very successful. The thing I didn't recognize was how great of a good running football team they are. Once again, playing against Division II schools, you got the best program. But evidently, they're more than that. These guys are. I just want to know the offensive line. I like to know what's the age of the offensive line. I didn't do my homework. I'll stand and say here today I was wrong about that team and program. But you guys know I never, when they start winning, I say, hey, look, they got my eyes. They got my eyes. Unfortunately, Deshaun has done a super, super duper job. And I'll be the first to say, I had a call 2 weeks ago, and the guy said, man, don't be surprised if they don't win the MEAC. Man, I hung the phone up. I mean, you gonna go play North Carolina Central. But, as a coach, man, I've been on both sides of that ball, come in and stun a team and beat them. And I've been on the side of the ball, got stung before. And that was one of those times. I will say that if Delaware State played North Carolina Central another 10 times, I think the outcome would be different. But we'll see. We'll see if they for real. They got South Carolina State this week. I'm a believer. If they beat them, I won't be shocked. And I'll look for Delaware State to move on to maybe represent the MEAC. So hey, look.
Just to kind of let you know, Coach, they have Norfolk State this weekend on Thursday night on ESPNU.
Right.
On ESPNU.
South Carolina State. Right. I'm sorry, you're correct. I'm right.
Yeah, they play South Carolina State. It's the last game of the year at Delaware State.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Campbell. You were able to watch a lot of this game. I wasn't, right? From the look of it, it looked like Walker Harris had a really, really good game, right? But they were only able to put up 26 points. What was hindering them from putting up more points, even though Walker Harris looked like he had a sensational game?
Hey, man, it was simple. They ran the ball and they shortened the game. Delaware State came in there with a game plan. They knew what they wanted to execute. They were going to run the ball. They ran the ball. They started squeezing that clock. And shout out to people that watched the watch party. But Scotty and I was sitting up there doing the watch party, and I said, here's two things that's going to happen for Delaware State to win. They're going to have to run the ball, control the clock, and they're going to have to get a timely turnover. And that's exactly what happened, was turn the game to their favor for them to win the game. That's exactly what happened. So when you're looking at it, it was set up perfectly. And then one of the things about it, and Coach Nemo Washington came on with Scotty and them and said, hey, we knew they were going to adjust to our running game. So that's why we came up with the big pass play in the second half. So this was a well-coached team. This was a team that was prepared. And this is what kind of shows when you got guys that are serious to their craft. And, shout out to that Delaware State coaching staff, because they brought those guys in there prepared. And Coach, I don't know if you noticed, this is the first victory they've gotten in Durham since 1977.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a great plan. Talking with Trey, he felt like his kids kind of got ahead of themselves, and he got to do a better job of coaching them and getting them prepared, for games like that. I think now Delaware State has made they have put their footprint that we ain't no longer ain't the sandbag team no more. I can remember when I was at Lane College, and if you knew anything about Lane, they were terrible. But we kept winning and beating the big schools, and they loud and clear over there in Delaware.
Yeah. Coach, I just think this is a breakthrough victory for Deshaun Jackson. Shout out to him. It just by all accounts, everything that I've heard, people watching this game, there was a well-coached game. They were a prepared team. I think as a professional coach, you would have been proud of the game plan and the execution by Delaware State. You'd have been impressed. So I'm definitely impressed. And as they go into play a struggling Norfolk team, I definitely and they're a 20-point favorite against Norfolk, believe it or not. That was shocking to me that they were a 20-point favorite. That's the kind of favorite that a FBS team gets against HBCU. But the next game, Coach, we had Mike Vick host South Carolina State. It was over
in the first half.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the second quarter, Coach, but they had
you can't get rid of 3/4 of your defensive staff in the middle of the year and expect to be successful. Mike just gotta go back to the drawing board and make sure he get a good solid team. Maybe vet the coaches a little bit harder, and hopefully it's making him understand that you got to coach now. You got to coach. You got to come in and coach, and you got to put 100 into this program. It ain't just gonna happen overnight.
Anything you like to add, Steve?
Man, listen, I'm going to tell you the one thing about this, and this is what's the crazy thing about the men. You don't play a lot of games. So one game really means a lot. So, again, the two big dogs in the conference, South Carolina State and North Carolina Central. They beat them. They should be favored in every other game until they play South Carolina State, and then we'll see what happens. So this man is incredible. So, for them to put them in a position to possibly go to the Celebration Bowl.
What do you think about the Norfolk State game as well?
Okay, let me say this. And I know this is minor. Shout out for Norfolk State to understand how to monetize Michael Vick. They apparently walled off that whole area and charged everybody a ticket to come on the campus. And I think it was $50. And they had 47,000 tickets sold for people just to hang out. So shout out for them to understand the value of Michael Vick and getting the money to build that program. Now, the actual game, Listen, we were peeping in on this game, and listen, Chennisberry and those boys started off slow in this season, but now they got their mojo, and they play like a championship team, and there was no holding back. And as they say, do not schedule us for homecoming.
Yeah, I talked with Chennis last week, and he felt the same way, and he was real excited that the MEAC play. You know, he said, "Hey, babe, it's the MEAC now." And they played some good teams on the outside as well. So he said he was real ready. He's ready to go into MEAC time.
All right, Coach. Anything you guys want to say about this game? Howard Morgan took Howard into overtime, and they were able to ink out a victory at home. I think this was also homecoming, wasn't it?
It was.
It was homecoming for Howard.
Yeah, it was homecoming for Howard.
Yeah. And they were able to get a victory.
And they do an outstanding job at homecoming. Y'all want to go to homecoming? Go one of Howard's homecoming. They shut the city down.
Don't look like they went to the game though, Coach.
No, they don't go to the game, but they go to all the parties. Trust me on that.
Man. It's unreal, Coach. They shut it down. The city prepares for the game. You know, to make sure everybody get home safe. They had
a whopping 9,995.
Well, hey, Coach, if you really go to the stadium, that people hanging that's it. People was hanging from the wall. When you see that stadium, it looked like it only hold 5,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Coach. Yeah. I mean, both of these teams have struggled in non-conference play, even though Howard was able to get a victory against the Rattlers. I don't think Morgan has a Division I victory. If I look at they don't have a Division I victory yet, Coach. So no. Morgan State doesn't have a Division I victory. They won against Lynchburg, Miles, and Central. So they don't have a Division I victory. So it looked like they may be struggling as they navigate the MEAC as well. So we'll go to next week's game in the MEAC Week 10. Man, we already at Week 10, guys. Norfolk is playing Delaware State on ESPNU. I'm not going to even hesitate who going to win this one. Delaware State is going to win this going away. I don't know that they'll cover the 20, but I know they will win the game. Who you have, Coach?
Oh, without a doubt. I got Delaware State. Victim don't even make halftime adjustments. You come back out, don't score any points in the second half. New coaching staff. I think that the program is scrambling right now, and Delaware State is moving in the right direction.
What about you, Campbell?
Hey, man, first of all, shout out. Hey, man, this Thursday, watch party, me and Zoe going to give you some good insight. Coach Cole, we want you to jump on if you got time. We're going to break this down and have a great watch party, and we're going to talk about that Jack State FAMU game. But listen, man, this is one of those things that I think Delaware State is really serious about this game. I think, again, Michael Vick and them going to have to figure it out. I think Delaware State runs away with this because I think this is one of those things that's personal where I think behind closed doors, D-Jack, because it was that little brother thing with Michael Vick, and he's a little brother. He was the second string guy of the coaching hires. And I think he took that a little bit personal. I think he's going to show that we got the better staff over here.
All right, Coach. We can move on to Morgan State and South Carolina State. Much like the first game, I'm going to take South Carolina State. They're the more established team. They have some Division I victories this season, and they got a big win against Norfolk State in their first game. I suspect they'll also blow out Morgan State as well. What do you got, Coach?
South Carolina State is bleeding at the mouth, Coach. they don't see Delaware State knock North Carolina Central off. Shh, man, look, I hope that they ain't looking forward. I know Coach Berry, he got them ready to go, man. You know, they know they got an opportunity to win it again. You know what I'm saying? So So I don't think he's gonna make no mistakes. They're not gonna take Morgan State lightly. He's gonna get after Morgan State, and they're gonna, last year they beat them real bad. I don't see the difference this year.
What about you, Campbell?
Listen, man, I think South Carolina State is getting ready to go on their run. I think they are going to put it on Morgan State. This game is down in Orangeburg, on ESPN, early game. I think they understand what the mission is. They're going to, like I say, I think they're going to put up a 40-piece easy.
All right. Our third game in the MEAC will be North Carolina Central and Howard. Now, let me say something about this game. Central has been favored in this game the last 2 years, and they've only won, they've won 1 out of 2, I believe. Going into this game, Central will be favored again. A wounded Central team traveling down up to DC to play Howard. How do you think it'll pan out, Campbell?
Listen, man, we all know Trey Oliver, and my homeboy talked about putting a carb on bricks. They're gonna put somebody carbon bricks up there at Howard because they are not gonna play around with this game. And I think and again, we already know the background between him and Larry Scott, the co-champion, the rings, and the points put on each other. So I think once again, this is gonna be a statement game that Trey Oliver, these type of games that Trey Oliver lives for. And I think they are going to go big on Howard. And plus, nobody's gonna be at the game because everybody went to Howard this past week.
All right, what about you, Coach?
Man, I don't see Trey, giving up 2 games. Howard's struggling this year again. And, Trey's North Carolina Central's quarterback is on fire. I think they'll come back. And, and if you go back, guys, when Southern was playing North Carolina Central, Southern had a great, they ran the ball successful. And I just overlooked that. I thought maybe they had correct that issue of stopping the run, but evidently they haven't. But I think the North Carolina Central, if anything, they'll outscore Howard.
All right, and I agree with you guys. I suspect North Carolina Central will win this game as well, and I'll probably be betting that game while I'm on vacation.
Hey, Evan, even if that Howard team that beat up, remember, they barely beat us. We should have beat us. It don't matter. They're not beating Central. So, trust me, neither one of those games are a benchmark to say, they only beat us 10-9. That's not nothing to brag about.
Well, okay. Let me go over. Let's look at the SWAC, Campbell, because SWAC had some interesting results as well. This past weekend, we've already briefly touched on Prairie View homecoming. I don't think that's worthy of any conversation. They did what they were supposed to do. They looked like they played in the first quarter, and then they gave them the rest of the quarters off. Do you guys have anything to say about this?
No, they got it. Not at all. Like I said, stop playing. All of us, stop playing Lincoln. I don't want to see that on nobody else's schedule. Stop it.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. We can go ahead and go here right now, Coach. I watched this. Me and you, Campbell, hosted a watch party on this game. We watched every play. We were joined by Scotty. I thought the ebbs and flows of this game was tremendous, meaning that Jackson State got off to a great start. Even after their quarterback was hurt, they were able to get a field goal and was leading 10-0. And due to some what I would consider really, I ain't gonna say miraculous, but there were some things that just fell Gramblin's way to where they were able to get 9 points in the second half, in the second quarter, which once you become 9-10 going into the third quarter, they made it a game. And they were able to control most of the game. Jackson State came back, but in not so SWAC fashion, Grambling was able to execute a 44-yard field goal with 21 seconds left to go in the game, and to secure the victory. So I'll just start with you, Campbell. I'll go to Coach. because Coach was at the game. Me and you shared our thoughts with each other during the game. Coach, what was your feeling during this game? You said that you thought Jackson State was in control of the game. What do you think was the pivotal play that kind of switched the momentum, other than the injury, of course? What kind of switched the momentum of this game?
Well, I thought the one turnover, and I thought right before the half, Grambling went in the half with a field goal of down to 10-9. And at that time, they almost scored then, but I felt then the game was turning. It was turning. It was like Jackson State was trying to find themselves, like lost their way after the first quarter, like, because they were gashing them right, left, running the ball right, left. They missed a couple people wide open, missed a couple shots. And then at halftime, Grambling made some adjustments. Jackson State came out again, I thought, pushing the ball down the field, but then started putting that ball up in the air. And that just wasn't happening. Then one would say the football gods, where, Grambling was, moving the ball left and right, T-Set was making the right choices. And when you let a team stay around like that, man, funny things happen. And that's the way I see it. I think if Grambling played Jackson State again, I don't think it would be a contest. I swear, I just thought that Jackson State just I don't know. I don't want to say they didn't play to win, but they didn't do a lot of things, I think, strategy-wise, that if they went back, I'm pretty sure TC is kicking itself saying that I should have attacked them a different way.
Coach, what I see that's peculiar about this stat line, they have one running back that's 11 for 98. They have Lockhart, who's 7 for 44. And then they have Ahmad Miller, who is 11 for 24 yards, Coach. That leads me to believe that either he was ineffective or maybe when he was in the game, they were playing him for the run almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nowadays you only play with one back in the backfield. So, Campbell, what was your assessment of that? We both agreed that nephew was really gashing him, but it just seemed like he wasn't getting enough carries. Like he would carry the ball a couple times, and then they swap it out. He carried the ball a couple times, they swap him out.
You want to keep these backs fresh, but I just think, again, when you got the hot hand, I think you just got to give these guys. And, and Coach could talk about this more. Are these guys even prepared to do the 25, 30 carries like when we were coming through? That's another thing, too. I don't know if these guys they have the stamina to do it. And I think that's why they want to keep these guys fresh instead of back when we were growing up. They say the running backs got stronger as the game went along. And so those are things when you kind of looked at it. And then also, too, I think Coach hit it right on the head. Jackson had a game plan where they felt was going to beat Grambling, and that incorporated a lot more passing. I think for a lot of people that watched the Jackson State team thought would happen. So I think they wanted to pass the ball, which they did do. But once again, Jackson State's bread and butter is that running game. And I think once, this is the first time I saw TC, and I love watching the game on TV when they have the print. You could tell now he's like, we're in a game now. You know what I mean? And you could see him kind of thinking of what are we going to do and stuff like that. So it was really one of those ones that I think that Jackson State kind of got caught, to Coach's point. I think they came in a little bit overconfident. I think they thought they were going to come out there, just wipe the slate with them and also get back from last year. But I'm going to say this again, and I told everybody on every show I was on, and I told Mike this, there is something different between Grambling and Jackson State. I told you all on this show, it's about football. Grambling has beaten Jackson State 19 times since 2000. Understand that. Those G-men are not scared of Jackson. Never have and never will. And they come in there with that level of arrogance every time they play Jackson State.
Yeah. When you look at they passing, they were 50% in passing, a little bit under 50%, which is terrible. You want to be at 60%. You rushed 180 some yards. Is that 198 yards, man, on 45 carries? I mean, you moving the football. I think that they don't get that ball to Rembrandt enough. Nate Rembrandt. I mean, he caught one big one, man. He ran it down. I think they can do a lot more with him. It's just a different game. He has so many weapons. Losing the quarterback don't mean you got to put everything on the quarterback. You can start getting the ball to your other playmakers anywhere in any way you can. I just, I know TC is looking back on this game and said I could have done a lot of things better than I did. And I think he'll make his corrections.
And Coach, can you talk about Coach Joseph and what he did to kind of orchestrate this victory? And what actually, because T-Set was really effective in this game. They were able to run the ball enough to keep Jackson State honest. And the interesting thing to me, if I go down here and I think about it, I don't recall a sack. Do you recall a sack, Campbell? I don't recall.
Let me tell you this. It's not so much you recall a sack. You didn't hear Ivory's name called in the game. That big play defensive end, you didn't hear him make an impact on the game. And that was the thing about it. Williams kind of had a good game, but Ivory is the guy, as you guys know, that has been game in, game out, that has made the big play. They shut him down. Gramblin's offensive line, which we kind of talked about a little bit. And, Coach, is known for those big, strong guys from North Louisiana that come because somebody sent them up there. They kind of look like the old Grambling offensive line. They kept people off of T-Set's back, and he was able to make play. Even when the young guy came in there, they gave him hold, again, to get that big 4th and 9.
Yeah. T-Set played a good game. He sat in that pocket. He got out when he needed to. As I always tell my quarterbacks, make us win. If it ain't there, give me 3.5 yards so we can continue to move the chain. I thought that Grambling got the ball to their playmakers a lot more. I thought that, they found a couple spots in there because they want to run the football too. And they ran the football well as well. Defensively, they made some good adjustments on the defense side of the ball. And, Jackson State missed about 2 or 3 different fade routes or go routes that should have been touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, we actually gave Mississippi Valley a chance in this game, Coach. I think you guys picked Mississippi Valley.
I really thought this. I just thought after Alcorn, after them losing to us, I really thought they were going to be down. But I got to Gil Coach said, Tommy, he got those guys up, and they said, we're not going to be embarrassed. And it was clear because I think it was 22-0 before Mississippi Valley scored. So
no. Yeah, it was 22-0.
Yeah, 22-0. So Gil Coach said picking those guys off the mat. This is not what Alcorn expected. But again, there's certain games that you want to have pride, and this was a pride game for them. And they said, we're not going to let Valley come in here and embarrass us down here on the reservation.
Coach, did anything about this game stick out? I know you gave Valley a chance at first, and then I think you switched it back.
Yeah. I was great to say, Coach. Yeah. Growing pains at Valley first year, new offense coordinator, new head coach. Like Coach said, man, Coach put things together for Alcorn and said, he's a good coach. It's just unfortunate, that he don't lost some close ones, open up this season, but a great victory for him. Maybe he can get things rolling and get them back on the right track before the season's over.
Coach, he got his first Division I win, Coach, in week 8, and so he's got 4 games left to kind of salvage his season. But it won't be easy, Coach, because when you look at it, Coach, let's look who he has left. You got Texas Southern, Grambling, Jackson State. That's not easy. That's not going to be easy, Coach.
And every one of those teams other than Southern have something to play for.
Right.
Yeah. So, We'll see, Coach. And then the Bethune-Cookman and Arkansas Pine Bluff, it went the way we all thought it would. Bethune-Cookman was dominant on offense. They were able to run it at a high clip. They passed it efficiently. And then, they somewhat controlled. This is one of the better showings from the Bethune-Cookman defense, Coach. Has Bethune-Cookman fixed something with their defense, or did they just play Arkansas Pine Bluff?
But you were talking to Coach Rocky?
Yeah.
Oh, Bethune-Cookman, man, put up numbers, and everybody is scoring against Pine Bluff's defense. I think.
No. What I was saying is, but this was the best outing, one of the best outings for Bethune-Cookman's defense. Did they find something on their defense, or did they just play Pine Bluff?
I would say they just played Pine Bluff. Ain't no question.
About you, Campbell?
Yeah, this is more a function of Pine Bluff than Bethune finding something. I think what Bethune has found is that they got an offense that can score, and I think that bodes well. But again, I think this is more of just a function of UAPB. They're not a good team. You see the frustration of the coach every time he comes on the weekly conference call. So, and with Bethune's homecoming, which they hadn't won, I think in the last 5 tries. So I think this was big for them also.
Coach, this game right here, I can just sum it up by this here, Coach.
On a count of 3, if you at home with me. 1, 2, 3. Everybody, stop playing with that man.
Coach, I know you've seen a lot of dynamic quarterbacks in the SWAC. Is this going to be a season to remember for a quarterback? What Andrew Body has put together so far?
It's just so unfortunate that he hadn't had an opportunity to really display, in the last 2 years. Playing for Texas Southern, losing program. Everybody know he got hurt. And now it's he's doing what everybody thought he would do. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody, Coach. There were some people who had their doubts now.
Yeah, well, hey, too bad for them. But we don't know, man. You might as well go and buy your tickets for him now, because you might not see him in the SWAC next year. With all this portal stuff going on. Because let me tell you something, he can do it, man. He's worked on his accuracy, his more accuracy of throwing the football. He wasn't as accurate as he is now. Of course, his body strength, the things that he do with the football, man, he's special. He's special.
Hey, Coach, the thing about me is, Coach, he's not throwing the ball. He's getting 300 yards, and he's not throwing the ball 30 times a game, Coach. He's throwing about 25, Coach. He's throwing about 25.
He's throwing strikes like 25 and 30-yard passes like on a rope. That's Steve McNair balls, Coach. And I've seen Steve all 4 years, Coach. This kid is special, man. He's doing some special things.
Campbell, as our historian, right? And again, Campbell, I'll put you in that category of personnel that saw what he did at Texas Southern, but you wasn't sure it could translate into championship football. You expressed that on this show. Are you surprised, impressed? What's your thoughts about this?
No, I'm not surprised. I wanted him to be healthy because you knew the talent was there. So the thing about it was, the biggest thing was, could he be accurate? He's throwing. You understand something? He's at 70% clip of completion percentage. That was always the weakness in his game, him completing passes. So the thing about it, what he really is now, he won't have one of those crazy Bruce Eugene, Kent, Steve McNair numbers, where we're talking about 45 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, but he's going to have one of the most efficient seasons ever in the SWAC because he's at 20 touchdowns and 1 interception. So he'll probably finish up what they got. How many games? What are they at? 7 games? They got 5 more games to go. If they don't make the SWAC championship, but they're playing 12. They should be playing 12 games this year. So,
yeah.
So you got 5 more games. They played 7, so it's 5 more. They should have, I think, right?
I think he only has, he's 5 games, Coach.
Yeah, they play 12. So that'll get them probably right around 2,500 yards. Probably outside shot and getting 30 touchdowns. He'll keep the interception. That's a crazy, crazy stat. And again, I'll definitely be offensive MVP. So, man, I just love it. Hey, man, Coach, your frat brother was shimmying all in the end zone. The Lion brothers were shimmying with them, boy. Them Cowboys were showing up down there at the Magic City Classic.
Coach, let me ask you this, Coach. Is it possible this year that Andrew Body could? Now, this is just we've already had a year where he ran for 600 yards. We've already had a year where he also ran for 500 yards. Could this be a year where he throws for 3,000 and also runs for 1,000?
Coach, they've been beating people so bad that they pull him out. They pull him out the game. I really don't think they have released him that what he really, really could do. I mean, he probably could throw 400 or 500 yards in a game, But they've been beating people pretty good where he's not playing 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's only at 1,600 yards. That means he got to go for another 1,400. Yeah, that's a lot in 5 games. And Coach saying, it's going to be a game where they're just not going to they're going to be up.
Right.
And, and Coach Rob's just not going to throw the ball. I mean, the running attack is still good. So, again, like I told you, he's not going to have one of those magical seasons as far as numbers. It's still going to be magical because of the efficiency of the season. That's what's going to be so incredible about it.
Right.
All right, Coach, in our last game that we're going to cover from last week is I'll let Campbell tell us about what did this game mean for the Rattlers against y'all arch rival, Southern University.
I listened to Perry. It was interesting. Perry this ain't a rivalry. The young guys don't really know and all that. Yeah, it ain't a rivalry because we beating y'all. You know what I'm saying? You don't care about it no more because you've been beaten so many times by it. And they really thought this was one of the Southern, they were chirping. Crook, and he's over there, I think, at another show watching it. But, we're going to beat fam, you ain't this, and fam, you ain't that. But once again, you got to play the game. You got to beat them. And that's what we did. So one of the things that, man, listen, the interesting thing is that we get the victory. But then there was another question like, where's Haley? This kid Haley come from? Why has he not been playing? This kid was totally explosive because during we had a simultaneous watch party. And Rocky, as you're watching Jack State, I'm watching this game, and I'm seeing this kid going for 30, 40 yards without being caught. You know what I mean? You saw Goldie Lawrence make a big play. Finally saw our speed guys be Florida fans, as I like to say. So big plays. And the one thing, Coach, that when you start making big plays, it takes a lot of pressure off your offense because you don't have to go 15, 20 plays to get a touchdown. Those big plays are shock plays, and it also demoralizes the defense. And that's really what I think happened. So, Cozy, I think this was one of the best games that he coached. He still had a questionable call on 4th and 1 where he went with RJ instead of punting the ball. But I think he was just trying to show his team that he believed in them. So I'm going to give him a pass on that because it worked out in the end. But, hey, listen, this is where we want to see these speed guys to get big plays because that's what we've been asking for. The guys are catching the ball. And RJ Johnson was efficient. He hasn't been great, but he plays an efficient game. So what he's going to have to do is do double that when they play Jackson State.
Hey, Coach, I know you didn't get a chance to see this game because you were in Vegas. Mm-hmm. But I can honestly say, Coach, the Southern offense was much improved. We haven't seen anything like this from Southern the entire year. Coincidentally, we find out just before kickoff that one of the reasons why Terrence Graves was let go is because he had agreed to turn over play calling responsibility to Fred McNair. And for whatever reason, he realizes that the AD realized that hadn't done 4 weeks after him and the coach had agreed to turn play calling duties over to Fred McNair. Have you ever heard anything like that? Or let me say this, Coach. When you agree to something with the AD, how important is it for you to follow through with that related to how you're going to do business on game day?
Well, I mean, it's a negative thing whenever the AD calls you in and start making football suggestions. When that comes, there's some friction, there's some issues, and there's some problems. It's unprofessional to me or for athletic director to come in and start coaching. When it get that bad, it's bad. I just think they've been listening to us on this show. I just be honest. They've got that ball to who we talked about for the last 3-4 weeks that should be carrying that ball 20 times plus a game. That's the Kid Holly kid. These are two football teams that's still trying to find themselves. Florida A&M ain't scored 40 points in the last 2 years. Southern ain't scored 35 points in a while. You know what I'm saying? They're just two football teams floating in the night, kind of, with all this ammunition they have, but trying to put it together, And fortunately they did, and Florida A&M kind of outdone them. I still think these two teams hadn't reached their potential at all.
Now, I will say this, Coach. This is just my interpretations of what happened. Campbell may disagree with me. I don't think from a coaching standpoint we really saw any improvement by Cozy. That's my opinion, and I'll stand by it. What happened is I believe the offense was bailed out by some big plays by Haley, and I think RJ hit a big play late in the game. You know what I mean? I think that's what kind of happened. Now, you can say, well, the guys made the big plays. Well, true enough, but can you depend on big plays to move the ball consistently, Coach? That's what I would ask you.
Asking me?
Yeah, can you depend on big plays to move the ball consistently?
Well, you got to put some things together, and hopefully you're setting up some things to get the big plays. But no, there's not a lot of big plays in a game, period. Usually you chop away and you get first downs and you move it down. But you definitely do need big plays in a game to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just feel that these two football teams hadn't reached their potential. We know one of the reasons on the southern side is, they got probably the best back, maybe even one of the best backs in black college football, and you wouldn't even give him the ball 9 and 10 times a game. You give it to him 26, where'd he go for 145? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Florida A&M, they trying to find, trying to put together. Ain't no question they got athletes down there. Ain't no question they got speed on that football team. It's that they got to be able to get in that office and put it together and get the ball to the playmakers.
If my memory holds correct, they threw a screen to Wilshire, and then they had the 2 runs by Haley in the second half. Is that right, Coach? Is that right, Campbell? Am I?
Golden Lawrence caught that long one, and Wilshire caught a big one. But as you see, Golden was that 74-yard pass, and then Haley put those touchdowns. And then remember, R.J. Johnson ran for a nice run to put it in there.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, do you think it was big plays that bailed them out, or did you see some improvement in how they were prepared and how they execute?
Well, what I've always said, you got to get the ball. We hadn't seen the ball get into our playmakers. This is the first time you saw where there was a concerted effort where you saw guys being set up for plays like Coach said to be successful to make big plays. Because when you got fast guys, a big play can happen at any time. But are you putting them in a position where now, like I say, you saw what's been told to me that Henry Burris has gone up to the booth. He's seeing the field much better. And now this is where you're seeing the plays. The offense is starting to come around. Of course, we played all quarter to Southern, but the bottom line is we played these games and we still couldn't score points. Hence the Howard game, right? We didn't score any points against Howard. Howard, to me, is not any better or any worse than Southern. And I think what you saw was more detail. And you saw, again, because when you can run the ball and a guy like Haley, because Haley was not also just getting long runs, he was getting positive runs. That was also the key, too. Because those you got to understand something. He carried the ball 19 times.
Yeah.
That Franklin carried the ball before he got hurt. So what you finally saw is, and you saw the offensive line getting to the second level. I hadn't seen that the whole season. But offensive line was getting to the second level. So, like I say, again, we'll see what happens. But like I say, take that as a positive and can move forward.
Hey, Coach, we're gonna try to rapid fire this and get these picks done, and so we can wrap this up. We've been on here a pretty long time, so let's go ahead and get it done, Coach. We're gonna start it. We're gonna start with what I would like to call the toilet bowls. So we got Mississippi Valley and Bethune-Cookman. I got Bethune-Cookman. Who you got, Campbell?
It's an easy choice. That's Bethune-Cookman. Because, like I say, Bethune was finally for the first time since they've been in SWAC. They got something to play for. They're not going to play around with Mississippi Valley. And this is the time when you start to tune up your offense. You start making sure the attention to detail. Because I think right after that, maybe if I'm correct, they play Jackson State. So, and they're bringing the band. So I think this is one of those tune-up games that they say, hey, let's get everything together so we prepare to go to play Jackson.
Shit. Man, Bethune-Cookman, man, they're a scoring machine, 3-1 in the SWAC. They still trying to sneak up in there. They got hope.
All right, Arkansas Pine Bluff is hosting Southern. I'm gonna take Southern on this one. I love what I saw in the fighting Fred McNair's.
They lose to Arkansas Pine Bluff. They need to clean everybody out. Everybody, the janitor, the guy, everybody. Southern definitely need to get this win. They definitely need to get this win. They playing the team that can get them. Pine Bluff is not very good on defense.
If Southern loses this game, that team will not be able to come back to Baton Rouge. I'm saying that right now. They can accept. I think Southern can accept the losing to the name brand teams. They kind of understand that. Even the FAMU is not a good team as of right now, but it's FAMU and they haven't beaten us. But if they lose to Arkansas Pine Bluff with Trey Holland, and that team has talent, not defensively. Defensively, they don't. I mean, other than of course they have individual talent. They're not a talented defense, so I want to be clear on that. But no, I think that they really try to take what they took against FAMU and put it again against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
All right, guys, and of course I'm gonna take Southern as well. Coach, Texas Southern, your alma mater, hosts Alcorn State. If I'm not mistaken, they've put it on Alcorn State the last couple times this game has happened. I'm going to take Texas Southern. I know Coach is going to take Texas Southern. Campbell, it's on you.
This is a game that Texas Southern better watch and not get tripped up by. Now, remember, if you guys remember, I think Alcorn went down there on a Sunday and got tripped up, not paying attention.
No, Coach. They didn't get tripped up. They got squashed.
Well, the score. But they were expected to win this game because this was a game that they thought if they win, they would win the SWAC West. So it's the same thing with Texas Southern. Texas Southern has something to play for because if you just look at what we'll talk about a later game, their rival should not be favored. So, again, this puts them right where they need to be at in striking distance and see what happens as the season goes on. So, Texas Southern should not play around with this game. But Alcorn, I think, again, is going to play hard. But I think Texas Southern definitely takes them out.
Coach, was I correct in your assessment of picking Texas Southern?
It's going to be a close game, Coach. With Texas Southern and Prairie View, they play the same type of game. Alcorn, played Prairie View real tough. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I got Texas Southern because they're at home. And hopefully they don't turn the ball over.
All right. Now, this is an interesting game right here, considering all the extenuating circumstances that are going on. Looks like they both will be playing with backup quarterbacks. To Gramblin's benefit, this game will be played in the hole. Gramblin's coming off a huge victory. Alabama State is coming off a really debilitating loss. Under any other circumstance, I would pick Grambling to win this game. But I just don't know their quarterback situation. So I'll let you guys pick first, and then I'll go behind you guys.
Yeah, Grambling likes to run the ball. I didn't like the backup quarterback that came into the game. I thought he was unprepared. He did make a big play, but Alabama A&M is struggling defensively, and I'm gonna pick Grambling in a close one.
Game is down at Grambling. Alabama A&M has not had great success, even when they had glass-nosed boys. I think Grambling, again, I think they're going to probably announce, some positive movement with T-Set to make everybody feel comfortable. I think they're going to play for T-Set. And I think, even though, like Coach said, they've got a rookie quarterback playing for Grambling, I think Alabama A&M just is not going to get it done. But I will say this. If Alabama A&M can put points up, which they have been able to do, then they can get the upset.
Coach, Coach, I'm gonna go with Grambling too. I think it's just down in the hole. I think ultimately Alabama A&M's defense just isn't that good, and if nothing else, Grambling is gonna be able to run the ball. And that'll be enough for them to shorten the game. And I look for Grambling to win in a close one. All right. This next game, Coach. When this game was announced, when we started looking down the schedule and after the season had started, it didn't look like Cosley might not even be in Tallahassee for this game. Not only will Cozy be in Tallahassee for this game, but Cozy will be hosting Jackson State, and they're a live opponent in this game. They're live, which means they have the potential of upsetting the Jackson State team. Will be coming in, probably starting a true freshman quarterback. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this game. I'm going to pick Jackson State, and the reason why Jackson State is going to win this game is because TC is going to adjust his game plan, and he's going to run the football. He's going to shorten the game. Florida A&M is going to continue to make mistakes like they have been. They're going to fumble the football. R.J. Johnson's going to throw an interception. That's why I think Jackson State's going to win. What you say, Coach Cole?
I like Jackson State. Florida has to play a little more consistent. I think Jackson's defense is very good. They do some good things. The two quarterbacks, they're not bad guys. And I just see T.C. Taylor making an adjustment with his football team and getting them going in the right direction. And they got something to play for. Florida A&M got something to play for as well. They only got one loss too, but I got to go with Jackson State.
It's on you, Campbell.
Listen, everything that you guys said is 100% facts. Jackson State probably will be the overwhelming favorite. They're defending national champions. They've got the better defense. The coaching has been better. And with all that being said, you still got a freshman quarterback. And that Bragg Stadium is going to be packed. This is the first time this whole year when I have finally heard the Rattler energy saying, we want to play some football. So here's what I'll tell you. and I'll talk more about this game on Thursday. So that's when I'll give my pick. Maybe tomorrow because I got to do the show with Mike. But here's what I'll say about the keys to FAMU: big plays, turnovers, and I'm saying put that freshman on his back because that Bragg Stadium is going to be packed. The sonic boom is coming, so you're going to have to march your 100. Finally going to be able to go heads up against a top band. And, man, I think it's going to be electric. You're going to be able to see that light show. And I think this is the one, if Cozy wants to show and shut, and I text Coach this, and I literally said, shut us all up, Coach, because we don't mean anything. We do not mean anything. You're the coach of this football team, and you got to coach these boys. So it's on him. So what we'll see is if they understand the assignment, and, again, we did not want anybody to be injured, but they are going to be playing a freshman quarterback that has not played in an environment like Bragg.
Let me ask you this, Coach Cole, before we get out of here, and we got one more game to pick. But a coach, I don't know if you ever been in this situation. Can a coach like Cozy kind of salvage what looked to be a disappointing season by winning a game like this?
Oh man, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, those people up in the office are like microwave ovens, man. Or what have you done for me lately? I think if we get after this game, I think the team will be, I think they found themselves. I told them they like two ships floating in the, with talent, floating, trying to figure out who we are. And if they beat a Jackson State, they might don't found who we are. And you never know, man, that east side might change all the way. Because ain't no question there's some football players in Florida A&M. Putting them together is the problem. I don't think it's the players. I think it's an internal thing that they got to put some things together.
Yeah. I think let me ask you this, Campbell. Will this game determine win or loss? Now, I'm not saying whether win or losing, he'll keep his job, but will how they look in this game factor into whether or not Cozy's
well, I think, yeah, because what you don't want to happen is, because remember, teams that if you talk about on the higher level, we lost, 45-7 to Central. We lost, 42 to something to Alabama State, who had never beaten us since we've been in the SWAC. We had beaten Central the last 2 or 3 times. We played Jackson State tough. So if you're coming down there, and when I'm talking about with an energized crowd, the marching 100, the sonic boom of the South, again, this game means something, which has always meant something since we've been in the SWAC. And Jackson State comes and rolls us 40-something to 7. There's going to be a lot of disappointment. So what I will say to Florida A&M's football team, you want to show that you have been improving and that you're here to play this football game. And again, they have a freshman quarterback. That levels the playing field somewhat. Jackson State's still the more talented team, and there's no doubt about that. But having a freshman quarterback down in Bragg Stadium, and Coach knows this, freshmen are freshmen until they become sophomores.
All right, our last game we're going to pick, and this is the biggest game in my opinion. These guys will get a chance to play early and then go watch Jackson State play. Let me kind of figure both of these teams will be watching the Jackson State Prairie View game for different reasons. If Alabama State wins, they'll be watching to see if they can somehow unseat Jackson as the East champion. Prairie View will be, if they win the game, they'll be watching to make sure so that will give them some indication that they will be the host team for the SWAC, no matter what happens. If they beat Alabama State and Jackson State loses, I think that guarantees that no matter what happens, they will host the SWAC championship. What do you think, Coach?
If Jackson State loses, you got Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman vying for trying to knock them off. If Jackson State loses, man, they could be out of the running altogether. You know what I'm saying?
No. What I'm saying is, if Jackson State loses, does that pretty much put Prairie View in the driver's seat?
Oh yeah.
If they beat Alabama State to host the SWAC championship, that's what I'm saying.
You know that's tricky. But you said if Jackson State loses, right?
If Jackson State loses and Prairie View wins,
yeah, they would be hosting the championship game
with Alabama A&M, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Mississippi Valley left. Couldn't it be with Jackson State having 2 losses and them already have beaten Alabama State? Wouldn't they have secured?
Well, I'll answer that question. That's what it is, because you look at it, they wouldn't have any losses. Alabama State already has 1. If you're saying that they beat Alabama State, that's 2 losses. So that pretty much guarantees it. That pretty much guarantees it. No matter what happens, what Jackson State does, either way.
Right. Home field and whoever comes from the West.
Yeah. The East. East.
I mean the East, yeah. Because you still got 3 teams in the East with only 1 conference loss.
Well, what I'm saying is they don't play Bethune-Cookman, right?
Who, Jackson State?
No, Prairie View.
We already know that if Jackson State loses, Prairie View should have home field advantage.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying Jackson State, we don't know if Jackson State will be representing the West.
Oh, well, I mean,
because you got 3 teams in the West with only 1 loss.
The East.
The East. Man, I'm confused.
Right. So, but here, so let's kind of break that down. The thing about why Alabama State is in a really good position, they've already beaten FAMU, they've already beaten Bethune-Cookman. Jackson State still has to play Bethune-Cookman. They still have to play FAMU. So that's why Alabama State is really sitting in a really good position and looking at their schedule other than this game right here. That's why it's so important for them also to win this game. So everybody, this is one of those game of the year type games where everybody has to play. So for Alabama State, they have to keep pace. So they have to win this game. They lose this game, they're out. Because even if Jackson State loses, Jackson State beat them head to head. So this could be an elimination game for Alabama State.
And I'll say this: if Alabama State, and this is why it's critical for Prairie View, in my opinion, just my opinion. If Alabama State defeats Prairie View, right, that what means is that there's a chance that Prairie View won't be hosting the SWAC championship.
They'll be right there in Montgomery.
Or Jackson State.
Jackson State.
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to point out is it's not Jackson's odds are Prairie View's going to the West, going to represent the West. But this game will factor in where the championship is played, is the point I was getting. And in my opinion, Prairie View doesn't have enough firepower to hold off Alabama State, in my opinion.
And that's the problem, Rocky, right there. That's the thing that Prairie View, because see, Alabama State can play both ways. They can play an ugly game and win it with 21-17, 21-20. Or, hey, you want to get up there where we want to get up to, 35, 40 points? Yeah, let's do that. And Prairie View just doesn't have the offensive firepower. But here's the thing about it, and I'm saying this because TJ watches this. This is what you hired them for games like this. Their defense has played well. They've been consistent. They have not played a high-powered offense like Alabama State. So now we see what the coach comes in at. And can he, again, the blueprint is always there. Turnovers, run the ball, and keep the game close, just like Delaware State did with Central.
I agree. Coach, what do you think? Alabama State, the least points they've scored all year is 30 points. If they get to 30, can Prairie View outscore them?
No.
Not even close.
Prairie View hadn't shown that they could score. I mean, they put 38 on Lynchburg. I don't care if you did take your starters out or whatever. That makes it tough. Prairie View is definitely going to have to hold Alabama State down. You know, they're going to be counting on the defense. Offensively, they hadn't been able to put the numbers up. So it's a big test, man. You got great defense playing great offense.
My concern with Prairie View is that they had some really good showings, but if they have their worst offensive game, they put up 13. If they have their best their best offensive output, they're at 38, coach. And if they score 38 against against Alabama,
don't even mention Lincoln, right? Come on.
No. I'm just saying, no. My point is, if they score 38, they still could lose against Alabama State. Like in a low-scoring game, it seems like that doesn't give them much chance to win. But if they do score 38, that's almost like playing into Alabama State's hands. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Almost damned if you do, damned if you don't, damned if you do. What do you say, Coach? Is there a game plan that can hold Andrew Body and Alabama State under the Prairie View average, which I think is like 24 points?
Yeah, well, they got to be able to tackle in open field. They got to be able to maintain and keep Body in the pocket. And when he breaks, they got to be able to tackle it, period. If Alabama State is good on first down, it's going to be a long day for Prairie View. That way they stay out of predictable downs where they're keeping Alabama State in third and long, where they could play their 3-2-5 defense. If Alabama State is good on first downs, it'll be a long night for Prairie View.
Hey, Coach, you mean they playing with 10 people?
Well, they got 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs.
So they're missing one person, Coach. What they put the other
5?
Say what now?
They're playing 3-3-5.
Yeah, they'll play him to the field. I'm sorry.
So the extra player will be to the field.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long day for me, guys.
I get it, Coach. Hey, Coach, and on that note, I got Alabama State. Who you got, Campbell?
I mean, this is simple, man. Alabama State, again, for Prairie View to win it, I'll tell you the score what it's got to be. It's got to be a 24-21 game with 2 to 3 turnovers for them to win the game, or like a block punt. Grambling is the blueprint for how to beat Alabama State, how they did Jack State, but that's not going to happen. I think Eddie Robinson understands, and you heard it in his voice. He knows what they got to do. They're going to put 35 points on that board.
What about you, Cam? I mean, what about you, Coach? Who you got?
Man, it's just Prairie View gonna have to score more. It's just gonna be one of those nights, unless and I just don't think they've shown me that they're that good up front where they can make Alabama State one-dimensional. Or Prairie View gonna have to move that ball and score some points. So I take Alabama State by 10 points.
Okay.
Hey, Rocky, real quick, and just because I saw somebody say, hey, look at the history. I think Alabama State is 1-9. I think I saw that. But let me tell you something. This is not the same as Jack State and Grambling. This is not where you have a strong rivalry where funny things just happen. That's more of a function of who had the better team at the better time. So I just don't think that really comes into play. If this was, like I say, a Southern FAMU, a Jack State Grambling, those traditional losses and wins come into play. I don't think this is the type of game that comes into play here. They don't play each other enough for that to matter.
I know Prairie View in recent history, has went to Alabama State and got a victory. Those were those Alabama State teams that were struggling on offense for the most part.
Yeah. I don't think, and usually when you say that, it's because it goes back to my point about the Grambling thing. It's a thing that's a tradition, and we're not scared of these guys. We always be. I don't think that Prairie View has that type of, well, you know, it's Alabama State, we always beat that. Prairie View, to me, they can't make that, like Coach TJ said, we ain't good enough to be talking like that. We haven't accomplished anything to be talking like that.
Now, last thing, Coach, as Coach TJ, who has essentially wrapped up the SWAC West, is this a measuring stick game for his program as to where they are?
Well, I think he thinks that as well. I mean, you know, he's not a fool. He knows he's on fool's gold. You know, he's on his honeymoon. I mean, you know, he's a confident coach, but he knows where he at. You know, he knows he's tiptoeing through the tulips. You know, he knows that. You know, there's been a couple games that he won that he might have been in question.
Yeah. It looked like we had old coach
game turning the ball over. They going
Throws up on us.
Yeah, what it looked. That's what it kind of looked like that he froze up on us. Maybe they having some of the same internet problems they're having in Jackson.
TJ don't want Coach to tell none of his secret. That's why he did it. He called on the Prairie View engineer, say, "Hey, shut that down." Coach started to talk too much.
No, but I think, hey, now you can go, Coach. You good now?
Okay. No, you know, it ain't no secret with Tremaine of knowing where his program is. You know, and that, you know, he's got to be better offensive talking. I mean, the best defense has moved the ball against everybody. Let's not make no mistake. Everybody, Division 1A, 2A.
They got him.
they got him again, Co. Oh yeah, hey, them Prairie View guys don't want him even comment.
They don't want to comment.
Yeah, Coach, I think we're gonna get out of here though, Mr. Campbell. As Coach, there he is. Coach, are you there?
Oh, so y'all couldn't hear me?
Nah,
Oh, wow.
You like new money now, Coach.
Oh, man, like I said, real quick, Tremaine and them, he knows that they got to score the football. They got to score. And the best thing is, the best defense is when the offense can keep the other offense off the field, you know, when you play those great quarterbacks like Body, Steve McNair, Willie Totten, Darnell Kennedy, Eugene, man, you got to keep those guys off the field, man. If you don't keep them off the field, shit, man, it's going to be tough beating them. Or you're going to have your greatest output night. Who is this, PV versus I seen y'all show. Hey, man, that 23-16, man. Hey, man, you can wrap that up and throw it in the trash can and sit it out. You got to score more than 23 points. I'm telling you, this kid can do it, man. He can do it. And look, hey, I've seen the great ones. I've been around the great ones. He can do it.
Coach, the one thing that I'll say is they do the offensive line, to be honest, even against UAB, Coach, they did a great job of protecting that kid. They did a great job of protecting it. And so I just, you know, I don't see a scenario, and Lionel is my man. I don't see a scenario where you hold Alabama State to 16 points. I just don't. But unless Is it gonna be a monsoon or something like that? Is it gonna be wet in Prairie View? Is the hurricane that's in Jamaica gonna somehow make his way to Prairie View? I don't know.
Hell, Body averaged 16 points a game himself. So look, I'm not saying that they can't do it at Prairie View. They don't held everybody they have, but they hadn't played Jackson State, nor have they played Alabama State.
And this is my last comment, Coach, about it. And Campbell, you can comment on it, whatever. I don't think Prairie View, as much success as they had this season, have, other than the guy at Grand Rio Valley, have they played another competent quarterback in this league, passing quarterback?
Yeah, I don't think we have an argument. I mean, this is going to be the best team that they play. And this is, like I say, potentially the best team in the conference. I mean, them and Jackson State are 1-1A. There's no doubt about it. You're going against the player of the year. He's coming back home to Texas. I mean, he's going to light it up, man. So listen, Prairie View, I understand it, but this is just one of those things that you guys are going to have to play a perfect game. This is one of those games that you get. Deshaun Jackson gave you the blueprint. Run the ball, get a turnover, and win it in the end. That's exactly what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. And I think Prairie View can run the ball. I think they probably will have some success in the running game, but they're gonna have to turn those runs into points at the end of the day. That has to be part of their success if they're looking for a victory. They can't run the ball just to run it. They can't run the ball to kick field goals. They have to run it to score points. Let me see. Okay.
But this is the thing, Lionel. This is the thing. Here's the problem with your point. He's only thrown one interception this year. You got to measure him by this year. He's thrown 20 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's completed 70% of his passes. So the norm is 70%, 20 touchdown, 1 interception. And remind you, because he's a red shirt senior. This kid been around, man. So this is not his first rodeo, and this game is not going to be too big for him. That game in Jackson, and I'm just no disrespect for Prairie View, that game in Jackson is double what this game is. And he put that thing down there for 60 minutes. So this game right here is going to be light work for their mentality of going into Prairie View. I'm sorry, it's not Jackson State when you got 45,000 people in the game of the year implications.
Look, can y'all hear me, Coach?
Yeah, Coach. Yeah.
They averaging 41 points a game. 41 points. They're 56% on third down. They efficient. They can run the football, Coach. Don't. They can run the football. When you look at the teams they've beaten, like you just said, that this is the best team they played all year, besides Rice. And so,
and Body may be better than their quarterback at Rice.
Oh yeah, ain't no question. So I mean, if you're a bet man, of course, Tremaine, Coach Jackson is very close and dear to me, and his staff. But we talking football. They're gonna have to come and score more than 24 points a game. Or 21. What is their average? I tried to pull it up.
I want to say it was like 22 or 23 points a game. It was just before the Lincoln game. It was just under the average you always talk about, Coach.
Yeah, 24 points. So they under the average.
Yes.
Right.
They under. Now, he says 17 is average, Coach. Is 17 average, Coach?
No, it's 24. The national average is 24 points a game.
Yeah. And Prairie View scores under the national average.
Yeah.
Again, I like I said, I don't want to my deal is I like Coach Jermaine Jackson, and against the best, what I would consider the best defense in the SWAC, against the best defense in the SWAC, Andrew Body was 20 for 30 for 349 yards, ran 14 times for 93 yards. That's what he did against the best defense in the SWAC. I'm not saying he's going to do that against Prairie View, but that's what he did against the best defense in the SWAC, the number one defense.
And Lana, we just don't say stuff. Let's be honest here. Come on, let's stop that. Because let me tell you something. First of all, let's see. This is where I think we get skewed. If Prairie View makes the championship, no matter home field or not, that is a tremendous accomplishment. Okay, if you all win the West, that is a tremendous accomplishment. First year coach coming in, beating the teams he had to beat. If they lose one, whatever. So I don't think that dims the light on Prairie View. But there's also a thing of better teams. The two better teams are Jackson State and Alabama State. You can't deny that. If you just look at watch football, you got to admit that. You guys have, because I'm going to tell you this, what they remind me of a little bit, Coach, with Prairie View. They're better defensively than we were, but their offense, it was just kind of like, can we get there? So that's what, to me, it's like where you guys are. We went 7-5 last year. So again, for you guys, it's worked out. You got the game. You guys can try to win it, but let's not act like Alabama State does not have an explosive offense. They got that thing in gear. So come on, man. Let's not do that.
Here's the thing, too. Why Coach Jackson is so experienced in these situations. I don't know if you guys remember the Jackson State when they had the white guy at quarterback, and we actually shut them down. We shut them down. But what helped us win that football game is that we rushed the ball for 275 yards. We kept them off the field, even though our defense finished number one in the country that year, 2010. So I know what's going through Coach Jackson's mind and how he's thinking of, we got to slow him down, but yet offensively, you got to have your best showing. If you don't have your best showing and help us keep him off the field, then it's gonna be a long night and a tough game. That's what I'm saying. So Coach Jackson's been in these situations. He knows what he up against, and he knows what he got to do. That offense don't play well. I don't see them beating Alabama State.
Yeah, and this is what I'll say, Lionel. I'm not gonna argue with you about this. I think you're a staunch Prairie View supporter. You're looking for reasons as to why your team will and should win the game. And I'll just say this, Lionel, and you're an educated man from the great University of Prairie View A&M. If you find me one statistical measurement that points to Prairie View winning this game, I'll buy you a Pepsi.
Coke Zero.
Huh?
He might want Coke. Give him a Coke.
Yeah,
Zero.
well, I didn't want to say Coke. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy you a Pepsi. But I'm talking about one statistical measurement as to why Prairie View will win this game. I've looked for it, Coach. I've looked for it. I put money on these games. I bet my hard-earned money to win these games. I can't find one, Steve. Steve, I've looked for the edge in this game.
Well, the only thing that you can say is that, and I think what Lionel and what I'm pretty sure Coach T. Jackson is, that number one defense. That's what they're relying on.
But one thing about it, guys, at the end of the day, you got to play the game.
Oh, 100%.
So, Rocky, it didn't matter because you will poo-boo the statistics. Anyway, I don't know what that means. No, what I'm saying is, I'm just simply saying I can't deny what is, right? If it's scoring average, if it's yardage given, if it's common opponents, if however you come out with Prairie View having the edge, please share it with me. Send it to me on Twitter because I can't find it. I'm not saying it's not there. You know, maybe even if it's, hey, by kicking off the game at 2:00, that give Prairie View an edge over Alabama State. I can't find one, Coach. And I know you've been in the game a long time. Can you find one? Campbell, you watch anywhere from Walter Payton all the way down to Andrew Body. Can you find one? Can you find one edge?
Well, I'm like, Coach, well, see, here's the thing. And I'm going to look at it like this. Grambling played Jackson State. You see what happened. Delaware State plays Central, and according to Josh, because he watches video and nobody else does, that it was going to be a tremendous blowout. It didn't happen. So the thing about it is, I'm going to give the credit to Tremaine Jackson. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to put a good game plan together. I think what happens is, can you do like Deshaun Jackson and play a perfect game plan that fits your team, get the turnover you need, and win the game? Shorten that game. That's the game plan. If not, guess what? Them boys at Alabama State are going to go nuts.
Yeah. Well,
and Eddie Robinson is a great coach.
There's your statistical point. Tremaine Jackson. Let's put it on the coach. They got a chance. It's on him. They don't win.
Period. Yeah. So that's the thing about that. That gives them, I believe they can be in this game. But I just think, again, Eddie Robinson, and again, I think what I love about Coach, listen, you know what's so crazy? And I don't want to belabor this. Eddie Robinson has seen this before. So like he told his guy, like, man, we don't care nothing about that if we don't win these games. So I think his mentality is acquired confidence. We have to win this game. What happened in Vegas happened. But what are we going to do this weekend?
Yeah. There you go. It's been said.
Hey, Coach, hey, I don't have anything else to say. Hey, I want to wish Tremaine Jackson luck. I want to wish Eddie Robinson and Andrew Body luck. I want it to be a good game. And of course, I want the best team to win. Like you said, Coach, we can talk about it all the way up to Saturday, but it's going to be decided on the field, ain't it, Coach?
That's right, Coach. That's right. That's right.
And with that saying, I'll sign off, and you guys can take.
Coach, I'm going to say something real quick because it's in the news and people have asked me. It's very concerning that we have seen articles and information that Angela Suggs at Florida A&M's AD, who is still the AD of Florida A&M, potentially going to be replaced by the director of the lottery in Florida, John Davis, who played at Florida State, who has no experience in any capacity of athletics. We'll see what happens. We know that Angela will definitely still be around Florida A&M. When the official announcement happens, I'll have more to talk about. But what I will say is this. This is the reason why we have to make sure we are in and voting. Because if this is what this is no more than a crony appointment that's going to hurt FAMU. That's what this is. And I don't care who wants to tell him that. He's not qualified. You're talking about somebody that has 20 years of experience, that has worked in athletics. And we've seen before, when we had an unqualified person before, what happened. So now here we go. So I'm telling all the FAMU faithful, write your president, let your voice be heard, let your money be heard. Because if this is true, because I can't say it's true until it is true, we have to let people know this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. We have a qualified AD. And what we found out, like I told all of you all here, don't believe what the police say. What you found out in the end, this came down to $649, which still was some BS. But I tried to tell all you all that, but y'all tried to tell me what it wasn't. So this is disappointing because we've got a great AD that's really ready to make Florida A&M athletics great. But now what we've got going on now is a person that's going to come out and get a job that's not going to be able to support Florida in no shape, form, or fashion at all. And I'm not saying he's not a good person. I'm pretty sure he's a great person. But that doesn't mean he needs to be the athletic director of Florida A&M University. And I'm going to say this to all my other schools. Jack State, I see y'all been watching your stuff. You know what's going to go down there. Do not let them people do it. Fight. Fight. This is about us fighting and not allowing these MAGA Republicans to take our schools over. Because all skin folks ain't kin folks. And that's all I got, Coach.
Wow, Coach, that's a hit, boy. You guys been going through it down there at Florida A&M for the last 2 years.
Well, it's disappointing. It's disappointing because, Coach, you know, we see this and people are playing games with a public #1 university and think it's a joke. They think, and this is where white people look at us. They're, oh, anybody can do this job. No, anybody can't do this job. And this goes for any of our schools. We have qualified people that graduate from our school to do these jobs, but here we go. But like I try to tell people, and I always heard this, let's give her a chance. Y'all gave her a chance. Now you see what's happening. And this ain't the only appointment that's going to happen. This is just the one a minute.
Wow. Wow. Did she do a year? Was she there?
Yeah, because she started last football season. So yeah, it would be a year.
Wow.
But it had nothing to do with anything. It's all about DeSantis and them using Florida A&M as their own cookie jar. Because like I say, it has nothing to do with anything that happened to do with her. Nothing. Which I told everybody.
I got you. Well, hopefully we can bring her back on the show, man, because she's a great person and we can get her back on the show and one day at least she can get it off her chest if all this stuff go down. And let her know how much she's great guys. The coach again can shave this and I'll be ready to go. But no, again, a great show. God is also blessing me on being able to bring great people on like Ricky Jones and bring always say, man, you know, just gotta hold on. Just gotta hold on. And you gotta just hold on to that rope. And if you feel yourself slipping, just tie a knot at the end of the rope and just continue to hold on, man. You know, as I always say, the sun gonna shine in the morning. See you guys next week, same time, same place.